CBC. Following is a CBC Sports presentation.
It's the oldest trophy competed for by professional athletes in North America and is awarded annually to the team winning the NHL's best-of-7 final round. Tonight, its presentation awaits on Hockey Night in Canada, a Canadian tradition. Fittingly, the teams that will wrap up an epic playoff series tonight actually opened the regular season 235 nights ago in Philadelphia. In that first meeting, Peter Zezel's game winner gave the Flyers a 2-1 victory and made successful the debut of Calder and Conn Smythe Trophy candidate Ron Hextall. In their last meeting 3 nights ago, also at the Spectrum, the Edmonton Oilers opened a 2-0 lead in the first period. Kevin Maclean scores the goal, and it's the Oilers by a pair after 1, but optimism was tempered by the knowledge of 2 previous 2-goal leads which had suddenly vanished. That omen was amplified when goaltender Ron Hextall made another series of clutch saves in the second period. In the third period, the Flyers got on even terms. Down a goal, but up a man. They score on the power play. It's Propp who squares the affair at 2 and sets the stage for the heroics of J.J. Daniel some 84 seconds later.
Propp this time doesn't work. Here's a shot. Score!
Still, the celebration at the Spectrum was in question. In the final minute of play, Ron Hextall's giveaway led to his biggest takeaway of the night as he robs Messier. The Philadelphia Flyers hold on to record a 3-2 victory and tie the series at 3 games apiece. Now, it's all for one. The Stanley Cup Championship Final, Game 7, and your ticket is front row and center. Welcome to Edmonton. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers live on Hockey Night in Canada. Getting to the Stanley Cup Final requires almost as much effort from the fans as it does from the players. People here in Edmonton lined up for 48 hours to get tickets. 17,000 plus have made it to Northlands Coliseum to see the final victory of the 1986-87 season. It's Game 7, the first series like this since 1971. It features a pair of 2-time Stanley Cup champions, and they just happen to be the top 2 teams in the National Hockey League. One team will be beaten tonight, but the scenario won't be. Good evening, I'm Ron Maclean. This evening also represents a bit of a first for those of us at Hockey Night in Canada. After 35 years of bringing hockey into your homes via TV, we'll reverse that tonight. Our cameras will show you fan reaction from Vancouver, British Columbia, Regina, Saskatchewan, where they're set for this game, and Corner Brook, Newfoundland, where we preface all of this with the first of our pregame reports, compliments of Daryl Maloney.
Like the rest of Canada, Newfoundland is waiting for the 7th and deciding game, and we have some fans to talk to. Who are you cheering for tonight?
Philadelphia.
Flyers.
Flyers. Philadelphia.
Flyers. Edmonton.
Go Flyers!
The Flyers seem to get the upper hand here. Let's go now to Steve Ruddick at the Press Club in Regina.
We're in the midst of 2 major sports events here in Regina. The first is an all-weekend ball tournament that is finishing up, and all these people have then come here to the press club to catch the hockey game. Okay, let's find out who's going to win. Who's going... Okay, it sounds like a lot of Philadelphia fans, but we'll see what happens as the game progresses. Okay, let's go right now to Ted Reynolds at the Sportsline Lounge in Vancouver.
Well, it's still pretty early here on the West Coast, around 5 o'clock of a Sunday afternoon. Strange time for hockey, but I think we've got a predominantly Flyer crowd. Who's for the Flyers? Yeah. What about the Oilers? Yeah. Well, about half and half, although some Flyer fans think the Oilers might win, and one guy back there has picked the Maple Leafs. There's another one over here might pick the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know, but they're ready to make a lot of noise, and I think perhaps the Flyers are the big choice here right now. That could change. Back to you, Ron.
Okay, Ted, and I'm with Don Cherry, who probably wishes he was there.
Well, I wish I was in Regina. There, it looked like they're having some fun there, rocking in Regina.
Do you have
Great
a lesson
guys.
for those fans?
I hope they're around for the third period, guys. Go a little slow.
All right, also here at Edmonton to provide the accounts of this game, and it is a big one, Bob Cole and Harry Neal. Coming up next, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Championship Series. It's the Edmonton Oilers at home to the Philadelphia Flyers as the tradition continues on Hockey Night in Canada. And the Stanley Cup has been presented in Alberta. It's the Call of the Wild at Northlands Coliseum. The people here are ready for this game. They know it's the final of the 1986-87 season. And among the spectators, Don Cherry, who I think is equally pumped up for this one.
We have a little thing that happened before the game again. Set it up for you. In Philadelphia, the security people said, we're going to let you, Edmonton, take the cup back with you, and Sparky, the trainer, said, sure, we'll be happy to do it with you. Now, Philadelphia, every game has had, in the morning, they've had the cup and they've stroked it and touched it and got up for it. Funny thing, it got lost. They couldn't find it. Now, just a few minutes ago, they went down to get the cup. Sather opened the door. He says, get out of here. You're not getting the cup and everything. So they got the security guys down there now, and I'll bet $100 they don't get it off Sather.
And the bottom line is the Flyers never did get to touch the Stanley Cup. Is that a problem?
Oh, well, I don't know. Might be upstairs. You got to admire that Sather.
All right, we have a few seconds. Let's address Game 7. What do you think is the strategy in this contest?
Well, the old story again. They've got Oilers got to get at them early. Flyers go into the third period tied. The big guns got to get going, as I said the last time. They got to get going for them. Hextall, let's face it, for Philly, they were outshot 25-9 in the second period. He's got them in there. I'm making a prediction right now, the most valuable player. And let me tell you a story. It's funny. Philly thinks they're the team of destiny, and they can't lose.
Well, Dick Irvin, I talked to him this afternoon. He said in 71, when the Canadians met the Hawks, Chicago scored the first 2 goals and took a lead. And you know what 2-goal leads have meant in this series. The Philadelphia Flyers and Edmonton opened the season. Now they will get set to close it. But first, Paul Lorio and our national anthem.
Coast to coast in Canada. We bid you a good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal, and we're set. So's the referee, Andy Van Hellemond. John D'Amico and Ron Finn will be on the lines. The 7th seed Stanley Cup Final. 1 winner, 1 loser. You know they have to be more than a little uptight. Harry, I guess we all are. There can't be any mistakes now. This is it. There are the goaltenders. Ron Hextall for Philadelphia, and he is his story all to himself. And down at the other end tonight, Fuhr of the Edmonton Oilers. Here we go, Game 7, and it's up for grabs.
And we're the luckiest 2 guys in Canada to be here to see it in person. And when you see that puck leave Andy Van Hellemond's hand, that's the medicine the players have been looking for to relieve the pressure and get this great contest underway.
Brad Marsh and Samuelson will start on the defense for Philadelphia. Poulin, Propp, and Tuckett up front. Edmonton have Lowe and Muni as the defensemen as Samuelson shoots it into him. And they go in after it. It's chopped away, and Messier grabs the puck. Nielsen and Anderson with him. Fuhr stepping out of the net to try and clear it. Philadelphia come out fast. Here's a quick shot from the line by Propp. And it's open in front of the net. Messier missed it. Now he got it again. And Anderson is away to center. Anderson with Messier cutting in the slot. Barrels his way in. There's a backhander, and it's knocked down by Hextall. And Messier went right into the crease after the goaltender after the save.
Well, Mark Messier has been very ineffective offensively. He's going to get a penalty for this. He cross-checked Hextall on the helmet, and it looks to me like he's in a nasty mood. And although this is an unnecessary penalty, Messier will really contribute if he's got a burr under his saddle all night long.
First penalty of the hockey game, and Messier on the Oilers has
Watch now, he never gets the shot through, and it comes over to Ken Nielsen on the left of your television set. He backhands it. It's an easy stop. Now watch 11, Messier. He gives a little hair job to Hextall.
34 seconds, the time of the penalty against Edmonton. And a chance for Philadelphia to take something they have not been able to take lately. A lead early. But they've been able to come back, as you all know. Power play, Flyers now. Crossman is there with Mark Howe. That's Crossman number 3. Cleared it to the line. It'll come back to him, and now he'll go to center. But a bad pass there. However, in for the Flyers. And a shot ripped wide by Howe. Eklund near the blue line with Crossman. Howe is there on the boards into the corner, and Craven around the net. Craven has Propp in front of the goal, and he is flattened by Coffey. He gets back up, though. Now it's Mark Howe at the side of the net. Shoots! And Fuhr stopped it. There's another penalty coming up now. The play is called, and the Coffey of the Edmonton Oilers broke the stick back there.
Absolutely. Here's what happened. Coffey broke the stick. Right here, you see it? Now he tackles with still playing with the broken stick. And I don't know whether it's going to be holding or not, but you can see he held onto that stick with his arms around Propp, and he gets a penalty, and Edmonton will be 2 men down for 1 minute and 21 seconds. And I'm sure Glenn Sather will tell you this was not in his game plan.
So, the Oilers have 2 in the penalty box. Coffey going in there for holding. And Glenn Sather and the Edmonton Oilers here in Game 7 are going to be tested early.
Well, you talked about a first period goal or an early lead by Philadelphia, something they haven't had much chance to enjoy this series. They have never had this opportunity to get ahead this early in any of the 6 previous games.
Muni with Kurri and Lowe. The trio who will try to hang on now. And right away, Kurri lifts the puck off the boards and down the ice. 1:15 left in the Messier penalty. Howe coming to the line to center. He'd like to carry it in if he can, and he does. Strapped back to Howe at the blue line. Now he works it in a bit closer to Crossman, back out at the line. Now it goes into Eklund, and he waits to the side of the net. The shot, Fuhr. Fuhr was looking out front. He got a stick on it, but he couldn't hang on to it. And it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
Murray Craven was actually trying a pass across. Eklund will stick it into the right of your screen. Now watch, he tries to throw it across, and Fuhr's starting across the net, and it hits his stick and goes between his legs. Not a great goal from Grant Fuhr's perspective, but he was anticipating the pass, and it went right through him.
1:41, the time of the goal. Edmonton is still shorthanded, remember. Messier on that goal is out of the penalty box.
Murray Craven, who's coming off a broken foot, he wears a pad on his left skate. It's not completely healed. Gets a big goal here for him, and here's the play.
Craven from Eklund and Crossman. 1:41, a power play goal for Philadelphia. And the early lead, 1-0. And it's still a power play for the Flyers.
Well, Philadelphia has been ahead only 50 of the 366 minutes coming into this game, so this is a luxury that they're not used to. I wonder if they'll do anything with it.
Craven is 32, trying to win the draw against Messier and can't do it. Gretzky is on for the first time. Got it up as far as center. Crossman going back. Gretzky in, watching him. Eklund will lose it to Gretzky. Back to Messier. He tried to hook it ahead to Gretzky again, but it was deflected over the glass and into the crowd.
Well, Edmonton must think that Philadelphia, who won't quit and have come back from more grades than Count Dracula did, what they have to do to beat this Philadelphia team. And Don Cherry mentioned early, and I agree with him, Ron Hextall will win the Conn Smythe regardless of what goes on in this game. And Philadelphia players do think they're a team destined to win the Stanley Cup.
They're leading right now in Game 7. And still have the man advantage. Hextall will stop this one for Crossman. Howe's there with him. Howe didn't anticipate the pass. It goes back. Messier is out hitting early in this hockey game. Just dealing another hard hit on Crossman. Now the Flyers come in, but Gretzky got back and couldn't clear. Crossman moving up. Crossman into the corner, flipped it back to the net. It's back to the line to Eklund. Another pass. Crossman gets set. Crossman, he had the goaltender beaten, but then lost it to Kevin Lowe, and Gretzky is away. Gretzky across the line. Gretzky fired a pass back and hit Craven's skate. 25 seconds left of the coffee penalty. 1-0 Philadelphia, and they're on the move again. Here's Sauter coming in, shooting, and that shot is whistled wide. McTavish won't catch up to it. Marsh is there. Marsh for Philadelphia. In on the boards, in a corner, stopped by Gregg, and he hammers it in behind the net again. 5 seconds left. In the coffee penalty, he's standing up, ready to come back on. Samuelson starts out. The pass to Sutter. The two teams are at close strength now. Coffee on the ice. He goes to the bench. McSorley hops on there. Into the zone for Huddy. McSorley on the other side will start away. Huddy was belted hard. Here's McTavish coming in. McTavish, a good move by McTavish. Now he loses it against Big Samuelson. Hunter lost his stick, and the puck goes off. Schmidt all the way down the ice. Ruotsalainen is around the net, and he has some room. He can go. And there he goes. The center, in, shoots. Stopped by Hextall. Can't get in to get the rebound. Hunter has it, though. Hunter shot. Rebound! And it just missed the far corner. McSorley couldn't reach it. Wide open action here now. Into the 4th minute of play in the first period. 1-0 is the score. Philadelphia leading. Here in Game 7 is Gretzky to center. He's pumped up a little bit. Going in now. Knocked down. Penalty coming on Philadelphia. Gretzky is pulled down. And the penalty for the Philadelphia Club for hooking here at 4:22. And Edmonton will go on the power play.
Here's the hook on Gretzky. It's a foul from behind. Not a very good one, and Gretzky embellished it slightly at the end of what I think was a marginal hook, but it was a pretty good gamble that Andy Van Hellemond would be looking to give Philadelphia a penalty after giving Edmonton 2 quick ones.
Krushelnyski, Kurri, Gretzky, Ruotsalainen. And on the other side is Randy Gregg, and he'll have to hustle back as Sutter cleared it. 1-0. Philadelphia leading, and a power play goal. Now the Oilers moving up. Ruotsalainen getting the zone, centered it, comes to the line, and here's Gregg. It's late. High shot stopped by Hextall. Gretzky centered it all the way back to the line. Kurri waits there, moves a little bit. Ruotsalainen nearly had it intercepted by Propp, and it's hammered off the boards by Samuelson. Minute 25 left in the penalty to Poulin. Kurri starts it, cutting the line. Kurri coming up from Sauter. Now he tries to pass. Might have had a shot from there, and the Flyers doing a good job. Yora holds it there for Steve Smith, number 5. And he starts out. Backs up again. Minute left in the penalty to Poulin. Kurri down with Messier and Gretzky, and the pass was tipped at the blue line, and Craven sends the Oilers back again. Gretzky winding up now. Pass to Anderson. Eklund can't stop him. Anderson from center. Back to Smith. 45 seconds left in this power play. Fans getting a little bit restless. They want a shot or two before this one is over. But the Philadelphia Flyers are doing a great job. Eklund there forcing it back again. Messier dumped it through the middle. And again, Eklund was on top of Anderson. Caught and shoots. Oh, no, had to make a brilliant save. 20 seconds left on the power play. Now, it's Messier. Pass into Huddy. He's to the corner, and Gretzky rolled it back to Low. Low gets set. Fired it ahead and back to Low again. Low in front. Gretzky waits. Set it up. Anderson misses it. The penalty is over. And the Flyers come out. Tockett to center to Ekman. Ekman in over the line. Tockett going to the corner after it. And Anderson caught up to him. Anderson kicked it loose. Around the net. Strikes out. Now to center McCash. He's moving in and Low with him. Shoots. Deflected away by Crossman. McSorley is up there. He got away from Crossman. Split to Poulin on the left side. McCash keeping it in. Daniel, the hero of the game in Philadelphia. In game 6, made the play to Crossman, and then down the ice it goes. And this is icing. Bob Cole with Harry Neal. 141. Craven from Eklund and Crossman. The only scoring play of the period. 1-0 Philadelphia. On the face-off, the Flyers. Coming to center is Sinisalo. Up over the line. Put a pass in front, but it's McSorley now. His pass through the middle to Hunter. McTavish in with him. The shot, another nice save. This time by Hextall. For the glove. Sinisalo to center ice. It's dumped into the zone by Poulin. A little too high. Over the glass. And into the crowd behind Grant Fuhr.
Dave Hunter, his father, Dick, two brothers, Dale and Mark are out here to watch, they hope, their brother win the Stanley Cup. And he got a pretty good shot on Hextall there. To Ron Hextall, look how far out of the net he is. He has been beaten on very few long shots in this series. In fact, in this playoff.
The goaltender, Hextall, is playing in his 93rd game tonight.
And you can add 7 preseason games to that. That in itself should win him some kind of a trophy.
What a year. And it's nearly over. This is game 7. Center ice zone. But Brennan hammers it on the boards and it goes in. On the left side is Carson to keep it in. Won't be in there long. As Messier is firing out to the line again, and Anderson dances away from one shot man. Center to Leeson. Messier scores! Beautiful three-way passing play, and Messier has come to play tonight. You had that feeling even in a warm-up.
Absolutely. This is the 3 top offensive players who have been in a drought. A pass to Kent Nielsen and then a late pass over to Messier. And you know, Kent Nielsen told me before the game, as he pointed to the area where they interview the 3 stars, he says, Harry, I'm going to be there after the game. And I said, can I use that? And he turned around and gave me a dirty look and he says, you're damn right you can, and walked into the dressing room.
He helped set up that goal for sure by Messier. 7:45, the time of the goal, and now it's 1-1. Tikkanen in there, bumping his man. And it's Tikkanen again. Back to Kurri. Look the shot, low shot, took away. Gretzky has it. Back to the line again. Ruotsalainen, rebound is there. And Hextall is there too. And the big goaltender got down to put his mitt on it. And there's only 53 left in this opening period. And the first 8 minutes and 7 seconds. For any indication, we've got some kind of dandy hockey game for you tonight. They're all jumping. Gretzky. The pass comes to Ruotsalainen. The high shot kind of floated in there with the glass. And the Flyers dump it down the ice. It'll go right for Fuhr. Ruotsalainen back there with Randy Gregg. And he's spying Gregg to give him the puck. Gregg to center to Gretzky. In it goes Tikkanen now. Tikkanen and Samuelson is there. Tikkanen was upended. Up to center and again. Gretzky Gretzky gets back on side in time. Out comes Hextall. Gretzky's waiting for him there, but he fired it high. Gretzky couldn't reach it. Hextall nearly got caught by Gretzky. Now Gretzky is up there. Drops it near the line, and the Flyers are going to clear it out. Samuelson to center. Samuelson coming in with a hard shot. That's stopped by Fuhr. Rebound in front of the net. It's tipped by Gretzky and out. Crockett backhands it in. That's Doobie with the puck now on the boards. It's tipped to center. Gretzky moving up. Gretzky with Mark Howe watching him closely. Hunter bumping into Mark Howe. Puck comes back in, and it's Eklund waiting. Eklund set it up. Propp stopped on the goal line, and the goal was saved right there by McSorley. He saved it. It was going to go across the line, and there were two Flyers ready to make sure. McTavish now. He's in. McTavish forced away from the net. Still on it. McCrimmon can't stop him. Now McTavish kicks it loose. Back to the line alone. Screen shot coming up. And it's knocked down. Eklund grabs it. Eklund gets it out to center and low from there for Edmonton. 1-1 is the score. It's dumped back in. Hextall out of the net. He's rolling early. And bumped now by McSorley.
Hextall taking an unnecessary chance, waltzing all the way over to the corner. He has to keep, I know he likes to get involved physically, but Philadelphia need him to keep his cool. He's done that very well for 2 games. Here is Fuhr, makes the save. He doesn't know where the puck is, and look how long it sits there before Marty McSorley comes in and saves a certain goal. Here it is, another look at it. It got by Fuhr. He's wondering where it is. He felt it, but he can't see it. And when he does see it, McSorley bailed him out. And if this game is for the next 50 minutes like the first 10, Bob, it will be the classic we all hoped it would be. And you know, Game 7, with all the hype it's had in many sports, has a tough time living up to that billing.
And you know something else? In a Game 7 situation like this one, as we watch that play around Hextall with McTavish in close, a Game 7 like this, they go into it rather cautiously. Usually that's the way it happens. And generally, you won't get a penalty called early. But we've had everything reversed in this one. Here's Anderson.
He steps by McCrimmon, put the puck through his feet. McCrimmon looked at the puck, then tried to find Anderson. Now, Kent Nielsen is famous for the late pass. It's a European trait. Now, Hextall has to worry about cutting the angle down on Kent Nielsen. Then he cannot get across in time to stop Mark Messier from scoring his first goal in 3 games. Kent Nielsen gets his first point in 6 games, and Anderson his first point in 3 games.
We're at the halfway mark of the opening period, and it's 1-1. Zezel with Smith and Mellenby for Philadelphia. Nielsen, Anderson, and Messier. At the line, the shot tipped in front, and Hextall is nailed. Anderson was in close. Here's Mellenby now. He's coming in for Philadelphia, and he centers it. It came off his skate and went to Grant Fuhr. Anderson trying to clear it out. He does. Messier is moving up there. In with Nielsen. Getting in front. Shooting. Rebound. Anderson. Nielsen. And it's a great save again. From the scramble, it gets back to Hodge. Messier bumped in there by Marsh. There goes Anderson. Samuelson in there on him. Here's Propp. He's centering it. But Marsh was there. And he decides he better relieve the pressure and get it out of here. And he shoots it down the ice. Hockey Night in Canada returns.
Sather has instructed his players to give Hextall a tough time, thinking, and I think correctly thinking, that Hextall is the key to the vault that the Stanley Cup sits in. And here's another example of people going to the net with trying to get a little bit of Hextall.
And the Flyers clear the puck out. Sutter trying to go in, had it poked away by Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen against Sutter, and Sutter rolled it into the corner, and Tikkanen is there. He looked in front of the net. Now he gets the Gretzky to the line. Up to center, Ruotsalainen. Tikkanen falling to the ice. He and Carson trade jabs. The play continues, though. Up the center is Sutter again. Sutter rolled it off the boards and in behind the Edmonton net. Watch the line and back for it. Soft pass ahead. And here's Grant coming out. He has Gretzky there. But he goes the other way to Tikkanen now to Gretzky. Gretzky wants to get him behind the net, but he backhands it first. And it was stopped by Hextall easily from that south angle. Greg is nailed back there by Dingo. Play continues the other end. Gretzky turns and comes out. Here's Hunter flying in there. Hunter lost control of the puck. And caught it back up for Philadelphia, shooting it in. Fuhr will come out of the net this time. Propp in there. But McSorley grabs the puck for Edmonton. Look out. He was nearly hit. Edmonton boots it in behind the net for Propp. Propp centered it, and it'll get outside the line. McCrimmon at the blue line. Feeds it ahead. Onside, just across center ice. Live on CBC. Along with Ron McLean and Don Cherry at the Northlands Coliseum in the final game of the season. 7 games. Stanley Cup final. 1-1 here in this first period. Flyers got the lead. Oilers tied it. Now Muni. A pass ahead. That's offside. McSorley just across the blue line.
You know, the Flyers kind of remind me the way they've come back as often as they have in the playoff, let alone in the final. Those birthday candles you buy for your kids, you blow them out and they keep relighting, and you blow them out and they relight again. I wonder if there's one more game's worth of relights out of them.
7 minutes and 28 seconds left in the opening period. Sellout crowd. And they're noisy tonight. Last chance to holler. McCrimmon now. McCrimmon for Philadelphia. Up to Tocchet. Tocchet slides it in. In on the boards. Propp was bumped by McCallum. Muni lost control of it. There's McSorley on the other side, and here comes Eklund, but the puck is out over the line. McCallum is nailed in center by Tocchet. And one of the penalty there. Puck get back of the net. Hextall left it there. Flyers find it there. McSorley ran howling on the boards. Fuhr will stop this one. Take a look and rip it off the boards out to McSorley. He tipped it away, and Coffey is moving in. Coffey shoots. Stopped out of that. Right in front again. Scramble there. And Nielsen nearly had a poke at it. But Marsh moved him away in time.
Well, the intensity in this building is unexplainable. I mean, if they can play this way for 60 minutes at this stage of the series, it'll be surprising to me. Here's a near chance by Edmonton. Kent Nielsen gets one bat at it right there, but he can't get much on it. And Hextall is lying down, stops it.
Hextall again hanging on to it. On a lot of action for Hextall in this first period. That's what he loves. Cleveland scored at 141. Messier at 745. This Raven goal coming while Edmonton were 2 players short. Messier, Nielsen, and Anderson. And Coffey missed the pass. It was hooked back rather quickly by Messier. Now Anderson. A pass intended for Nielsen. Doesn't get to him. Here comes Anderson again. He's moving up. Shoots. Low shot this time, and Hextall takes that away. It's centered. That's a bad one. Messier in the crossbar. He thinks it's in. And that probably went in. The light did not come on. And the play continues to center. Long shot by Smith. It was off the crossbar, I'm sure. In back of the net. Sutter against Coffey. Messier now. He had a great chance seconds ago. Now he has another going in. But this time he's tied up by Samuelson. Flyers go the other way. Propp pass to Sutter. And he couldn't get by Ruotsalainen as Propp set him up. Sutter knocked down. Gets back up just as quickly. Samuelson to center ice. Get tipping across the Edmonton line. 5:35 left in the opening period. 1-1. There's a pass into Tikkanen. Tikkanen going for the net. Finding little room. Samuelson dumped it out to the line. Not cleared. Kurri knocked it down. Now Eklund up to center ice. Into Propp. His shot. Gloved by Fuhr. Again, Oilers back. Watch the line and starts to play. Deacon in. He saw Kurri in there. Gretzky was knocked down by Maclean at the blue line. Hextall quickly out of the net. And it's cleared to center. Lowe dropped it back along the blue line. Uni poked it ahead and is cleared into the zone by Kurri. 4:50 left in the period. Mellanby goes around his own net. Gretzky chasing him. Mellanby kicked it along the boards. He got it to the line, but not out. Now Howe gives it to McCrimmon. To center ice, McCrimmon fired one in. Wide of the Edmonton net. You're there to stop it anyway. And now down the boards to the line, and Hunter's on the move again. Hunter coming in, dropping it back. Kurri shoots. And that's blocked. Beauty again from the other side. Centered one. Mellanby was there. He can't clear it. Hunter fired it into the corner. Kevin Lowe knocks it down. With the pass in there, but Crossman was standing and waiting for it. Derek Schmidt back in for Philadelphia. That hard shot gloved by Fuhr. Great action in the first period. Digno tried one. Here's Sinisalo shooting. Up comes McTavish with Nielsen. Nielsen carries, shoots. That's blocked by Hextall. He had the angle covered perfectly. 3:50 in this fast and furious first period out of 7 games. Here's a shot by Nielsen. And Hextall nearly chopped that time, but he did get back in time. Just in time. McTavish bumped near center. Digno couldn't stop McTavish. Sinisalo for center. He didn't get very far. Here's Poulin and Cecil. Poulin gets set. Poulin dropped it back. Crossman going in. And he missed the net. Flyers press now. Coffey loses it to Cecil. Cecil grabbed by Coffey and behind the goal. They try to boot it loose. Van Helman letting them go at each other here in the first period. It's very fast-paced. Crossman shoots. Great save by Fuhr. Magnificent save by Fuhr on Crossman. I tell you, we've got one going tonight. Here's Anderson to center, and Gretzky is going in. Great move by Gretzky, and another. And Gretzky now waits, dumped it back to the line. Watsalainen was covered by Eklund with 2:45 left in the period, and we're still tied at 1. Up to center ice. Daniel shoots it in. Brent Fuhr looking around. Gives it to Greg. Here's Gretzky, can't reach that one. Tocchet fires it back in, and Greg has to go back. 2.5 minutes left in the period. Puck out across the line, and Gretzky getting away. He's alone now. Gretzky waits for help. Here it is, and Watsalainen. And he had the puck tipped away by Propp before he could hit it. 2:15 left in the period. We're still tied at 1. Here's Kurri. Kurri lost control. However, Gretzky grabs it. Took the pass ahead. Marsh had keeping him covered. In around the net, Samuelson finds a little room to come out. A long shift for everybody on there now. They can't get off. They're starting to make some changes as the play goes in behind Fuhr. Uni to Kurri. That's stopped. It's centered right in front and down. In front of the netminder was Kevin Lowe to make the save. And the puck is cleared down the ice to Hextall. 1:40 left in the period. Hextall rattles one on the glass. Oilers changing. Nearly got caught. The puck going in there. Up the center. Messier is flying in here again. Dropped it back perfectly to Anderson. Oh! Hodge in the corner. Around the net. Centered, and Anderson was stopped again. Man scramble around Hextall's goal crease. Mellanby finds his man on the left wing. McCrimmon moving up. Dump one in wide of the net with 1:10 left in the period. Brent Fuhr. Throw it into Hodge. Anderson to McTavish. McTavish stopped near center by Mark Howe. There's Hodge. 1 minute left in the period. Hodge had his stick left it as he tried to shoot it in. Poulin nearly ripped hard by McSorley at center. He just missed being hit.
Sometimes you don't have to hit a guy to get the message across, and Poulin could smell him going by.
McTavish now coming in. McTavish gets set. Tried a shot from the angle, and Hextall made the save. And he hangs on.
Here at the Northlands Coliseum, and we're going to give a chance now to show you Messier's near goal. I thought it went in, But take a look at this, and you'll see that Andy Van Hellemond, who was right in the right spot, called the play perfectly as it went off the post and out. Here's another view. And there it is on the crossbar and out. No question about it. Gretzky's still arguing a little bit about it. But Van Hellemond, who's the best referee in the league, was right again.
Flyers get the puck to the line, but not out. Kurri now loses it to Marsh, and he goes to center ice with it. Marsh stick handles it himself, fell. And Gretzky nearly got a break behind Samuelson, who shoots the puck in. 1-1 to score. Gretzky takes a pass on the blind, mind you. Gretzky takes the shot. He has Samuelson on his feet. It's in front. Oh, what a perfect play, but the shot was off the net. Gretzky putting on a bit of a show on that rush. But it's still time as the siren goes to...
We got people here from all over British Columbia. Hey, where are you from?
Tumbleridge, BC.
Who are they cheering for?
Edmonton.
What about you?
Smithers.
Who are they cheering for?
Flyers. Watson country.
Well, everybody's got another team, and I don't think there is any way that we're going to polarize this outfit yet. Who's going to win?
Philadelphia.
Who's going to win?
Flyers.
Flyers. I don't know. They're all cheering for the Flyers. But you can't tell right now how it's the score going to be. 5-1. That man's crazy. At least we know the Maple Leafs and the Canucks won't win it. Okay. In Vancouver, they're saying it's going to be the Flyers, but they go up and down here. Every time somebody gets inside a blue line, they all start screaming, so I don't know. No selection yet. Back to you, Ron.
While Messier and Coffey were in the penalty box. And then a picture-perfect play with Messier scoring at 7:45. Nielsen and Anderson helped set it up, and here's how the play developed.
Messier grabs the puck behind his net and kind of worms his way out. Anderson steps by the Philadelphia player. Now they got something going. They get the line. Anderson throws it over. See Messier coming into the top of your screen? The Flyer forward can't catch him. Sutter cannot catch Messier. And Hextall makes a gallant attempt to get across the net quickly enough, but he can't do it.
Sometimes, Harry, you can get an idea of what's to come when you watch the warm-ups. And we watched Philadelphia and Edmonton tonight, and it was very obvious that one Mark Messier was all fired up. Even in the warm-up, he was jumping around and speeding around on his own side of center ice, and firing pucks at Grant Fuhr in the warm-up. And he certainly carried it over into the first period.
He had hit that look in his eye this morning at the morning skate. Edmonton as a team skated. Philadelphia, no one skated. Now a 6 o'clock game, quite often that's comes a little too early for the road team, which gets the ice time last to skate in the morning.
Well, I asked Mike Keenan before the game what his idea was about taking the morning off. Well, he said Bobby skated yesterday and had a good hard workout. And as you mentioned, Harry, a 6 o'clock start here in Edmonton. He thought that was enough. Well, here it comes again. Messier. Pass ahead, Anderson got crossed up with Nielsen, and nobody could move on it. Now it's over the glass into the crowd, and Messier was flying again, throwing that pass away to Nielsen, who then bumped Anderson.
Well, you know, the Edmonton players were saying that they felt that they were still in the driver's seat to win the Stanley Cup with the 7th game being here in Edmonton. I think they've taken that Stanley Cup vehicle, stopped at a local Esso station, and got a full tank of high-octane fuel.
There's Marsh for Philadelphia. And Samuelson, the big guy, tried to shoot it by Lowe, who got a piece of the puck. Now Lowe again, trying to knock it away. Zessel was there, though, for the Flyers, and he shoots it in, then was hit by Lowe. Puck up behind the net. Anderson now. Talking going in to bump him. Messier is stopped. Talking again on the boards. Anderson all over him. Anderson has the puck. Going around the net. Talking trying to catch him. Anderson speeding away. Breaking loose. Talking got a piece of it, but Messier is in. Anderson shoots. It hit a skate. And the puck is ripped off the glass and down the ice. Go up Salina, number 29, back as the Flyers make quick changes. 1-1 to score. Here's Messier to the middle. cruising in, dropped it back, Kurri shot. Hextall blocked it. Again, Messier fired it back to the line. Intercepted by Mellanby. Mellanby's pass through center is called on the offside. Sutter and Kurri collided in behind the play from the Northland Stallion. 1-1. McSorley and to Carson. Some high sticking in behind the official Ron Finn, who's about to drop it in between Sutter and McTavish. Drake shoots it in. Edmonton. Mark Howe around the net. Hunter went in to bump him. Mellanby along the boards. Takes a hit from McSorley. McCrimmon is there also. Had a stick jam. McCrimmon gets loose. McSorley chases him. McCrimmon starting out. McSorley bumped him on the boards. Keeps it in. Now it comes to center. Watch the line into Greg, and he slapped it in. Howe. Pass to the middle. Sutter trying to hit Mellanby and missed him with the pass. And it's McTavish coming in. 2-on-1. Hunter won it. McTavish. They did. Oh, what a miraculous save by Hextall. He was down and appeared to be out of the play. And he reached back and stopped a sure goal. McTavish will try it again. He's up there. Bumped back McSorley, and he missed it. He was in too far. Oilers coming close. Here at the early going of the second period. Again, Kurri to center is stopped. Tocchet for Philadelphia. Long shot off the net by 10 feet. Nearing the 3-minute mark for the second. Tocchet bumped his man, Hunter. Here's Tocchet striding up. Tocchet coming up across the line. Trying to send a pass across. But Edmonton was there and back in. Edmonton for Philadelphia. Pass to Sinisalo. He centered it. And Gretzky takes over. Tocchet put pass away. Tikkanen to Kurri. Kurri with Tikkanen in front. Tikkanen waiting for Lowe to catch up. Tikkanen now to Mooney and a bad pass. It comes back to center, and Kurri got back to make up for the error. And he turns as the head is tipped near center ice, and Gretzky is to back up. Mooney takes the puck from him. To the other side, Tikkanen up the center. Kurri on his right. Tikkanen dropped it for Kurri. Kurri had gone in too far. Puck is into the center ice zone again. Ruotsalainen being watched by Sinisalo. Gretzky takes the pass. Looking for open ice. Peterson is feeding it with Ruotsalainen. They did! And he was knocked down before he could shake it. He's going to be a penalty against Philadelphia.
Oilers are really skating, and Rexy Ruotsalainen skated the way I remember him with the Rangers, and he's in if Sinisalo doesn't hook him off his feet. And Philadelphia has to kill a penalty. And Edmonton, here's the stop earlier on McTavish that Hextall makes. And that's an emergency stop. It's your last hurrah, but Hextall's having that kind of a series. He's made 2 or 3 of those. And Edmonton have really shown so far for 24 minutes. Philadelphia is going to have to contend with this great speed the Edmonton team has. Saylor has cut his line up to 3 lines. He's playing his better players more, and I agree with him completely on that one. There's no need saving anybody for tomorrow.
Messier gets the draw. Gretzky to Kurri. Coffee shot. That's blocked by Hextall. Coffee again at the blue line. Gretzky on the boards. Iverson ripped it. And it hit Huddy in front of the net. He was hurt. He's limping off. Charlie Huddy hurt on that shot. Samuelson from center shoots one. Doorstep to Adam left it there. Power play. Oilers. Messier coming in. Messier. Pass to the line. Gretzky coming in. He shoots. That's blocked it from him. Goal was just wide. That was Messier on the doorstep.
Well, there's no question about the strategy. The one strategical change in strategy that Saylor made. Get some white shirts in front of the goal.
Gretzky shoots it in. Hextall out, and he makes a beautiful play by corralling the puck and then clearing it. 1 minute left in the penalty now. Ruotsalainen. Kurri comes to center. Kurri up there. Smith drop back. Nearly a breakaway. Craven coming in, shoots it. Got his shot away, even though Coffey was going back there with him. And Fuhr had the angle on it.
Now, a very bad play just inside the Philadelphia blue line. A drop pass in a crowd. And if your guy gets it, it looks good. But if they get it, you see exactly what happened. And Murray Craven makes a nice shot. And Fuhr well out of his net with the angle cut off completely. Huddy, who's now skating around trying to skate off a blocked shot, he was in front of the opponent's net on that power play. And the shot came from the point and hit him in the leg. He'll be all right for sure. There's another great save by Hextall. And I mean, when is this guy going to calm down and play an ordinary game?
Score is tied at 1 and 44 seconds left on the Edmonton power play. They start it up again. Messier drops it to Coffey. Up it goes. Anderson and Anderson. Cut to the slot. Here's a pass in front. And it's fired by Greg down the ice again. 25 seconds left. In the Philadelphia penalty. Propp going in there. Here comes Poulin. He's a pretty good penalty killer, too. Poulin nearly got a shot on the net. Messier winding up. Dancing away is Messier. Messier away from one check. Now he's over the line, but that extra move. And Gretzky anticipating a pass. He had gone in. Offside.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers certainly did not start slowly tonight. Wayne Gretzky told me how much he enjoyed the Boston Celtic-Detroit Piston game yesterday and what an admirer he is of Larry Bird. And, of course, Larry Bird was monumental in the Celtic win yesterday. Dave Hunter phoned Gretzky and said, you see what your buddy Bird did? Now you do it tomorrow night.
I think he did that earlier in the series. He watched Bird fly for Boston, and he had a big game. This one is developing into quite a seventh game in a remarkable Stanley Cup series. We're tied at 1 nearing the 6-minute mark of the second period. And the teams are at full strength again. McSorley's pass to center. And it's McTavish trying to go in. McTavish rolled it back in front. And the Flyers get it up. The center is Ekman. Ekman up the line. A pass. Pocket in too far for Smith. It'll be Hunter tapping it out across the line and down the ice. And Crossman goes back. Philadelphia now obviously trying to contain these explosive Edmonton Oilers and look for a break or two. Daniel, his pass, gets out to center and Coffey has it. Coffey and Huddy on the ice again. Huddy up through the middle to Gretzky. Gretzky had the Kurri offside. Kurri saw the play develop. He knew Gretzky would find him. But he found him.
Philadelphia's not starting slowly tonight the way they did in the earlier games. 1-1, that's a strange one as far as Keenan's concerned. I asked him about the slow starts. He said, our team's like tea bags. We got to be in hot water for a while before the flavor comes out.
Puck tipped ahead for Sutter. Ellenby slashes it in. Fuhr has to step behind the net to stop it there. Coffey starts to play. Oilers get it out to Huddy. Up there with Kurri. Huddy is tied up, falling to the ice. Mark now for Philadelphia. House pass, hit a stick. Gretzky got in the way. Now Kurri. Dropped it back. There's Coffey and Gretzky, and Coffey is upended. Gretzky carries on. Gretzky makes a dandy ship. Pass in front of Tikkanen. He didn't expect that pass. It hit a skate. Tikkanen again. Gretzky is there. And his stick left it. Here's Greg shooting. That's blocked, and it's Sutter. Coming back for Philadelphia. Sutter to center. Pass in. McCrimmon has to slap it into the left of the net. Here's a giveaway. Right in front of the net. Sinisalo is blocked by Frank Fuhr. Wow. Here's Gretzky and Tikkanen again. That'll be onside. Fuhr shining on Sinisalo.
Well, it was a one-on-one confrontation, and Sinisalo had been in no hurry whatsoever. And he's getting a standing O, and here's why. It's an interception in front of the net. Sinisalo's going to come late, right down the pipe. Watch Fuhr's right leg. A great stop by one of the two great goalies that we're watching here tonight. Boy, you don't get that puck teed up like that. If that was a golf ball, Fuhr would have hit it 300 yards.
from that shot that Sinisalo had more room to shoot at, but actually Fuhr was out a couple of feet and had the angle covered. That helped him make the save. Anderson tosses it in. Messier couldn't pick it up. Zessel grabs it for Philadelphia. Zessel's long shot. Fuhr blocks that. Uni ahead to the line. Now down to center. This is Nielsen. Nielsen going in, and he can stick handle with the best of them. Back to Lowe, and Lowe can't get a shot. He's tied up by Craven. Lowe gets loose. Lowe back to the net, trying to jam it in. But Samuelson for Philadelphia. Tossing one up to center. Sinisalo is offside. And it's called. They'll bring it back inside the Philadelphia Flyers line with us next to you, wherever you are, coast to coast in Canada. I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the broadcast booth at the Northlands Coliseum for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Bob Maclean and Doug Jari along as see Mike Keenan. We talked about everybody being uptight. Yes, everybody is uptight. They say we're calm. Drop the puck and we'll be all right. Well, I guess we're okay now because they're putting on quite a show. Quite a game.
Well, if there have been better games, I haven't been to many of them, I'll tell you that. This one has all the drama that you would love to have, and the game is living up to the expectations. Two great teams clawing at each other's face to see if they can get the Stanley Cup for a year.
Score tied at 1, nearing the 9-minute mark of the second period. Crossman goes behind the net. Into the corner, and Hodge, the defenseman, is pitching in. Stops the puck in there. Hodge shoots it, hit the goal post, but it was a gloved pass. Hodge wreckled one about a foot off the ice, off the post.
Well, Mr. Snyder, the owner of the Philadelphia Flyers, flew in 12 ex-Flyers from the 1974-75 Stanley Cup team to be his guest to see if they could bring a little inspiration to this Flyer team. And the Flyers work hard at promoting the great heritage that their team has.
Hodge's rink wide pass finds Hunter, who shoots it in. Propp trying to clear it out. Waited too long. McCarty stole it. McCarty set it up. And the high shot was deflected, went up over the net. And Shirley nearly had one set up by McTavish. Now Hunter again in the corner. Getting the puck loose. Dropped it back. And the Flyers Propp intercepted. Daniel comes to center. Gets across center ice. Right wing pass, but Shirley had Eklund covered. Has pushed him off the puck. Hodge grabs it. And he's away. Slides it down to McSorley. He was covered. Daniel to Eklund. Eklund dropped it over to Propp. Propp in center ice. And soft pass ahead up the line. Here comes Daniel, and his shot picked away by Fuhr in fine style. Now it's off to center again for Coffey. Coffey jamming on the brakes to McTavish. In there with the backhander. Rebound McSorley. In front of Grant. Two shots. Didn't reach the netminder. Stopped at the line by Smith. Hit front of the net and wide. McTavish keeping it in. McSorley was there in front of the net and watched by Daniel. Propp comes to center. Upended by Randy Gregg. Gregg dropped it back and over the line. Now it's out again. Kurri ahead with Gretzky. In there, shooting. Off the stick and wide. He and Tikkanen collide heavily and go to the ice. Crossman backhands the pass to center. Melody is knocked down as he took the pass from behind, and Gregg turns in front of Fuhr. Fired a long one down the ice. McCrimmon is back there for it. Coming up to the 11-minute mark of the second. It's still tied, 1-1. Gretzky doesn't get the pass. Melody tipped it off the glass and tried to go after it. Dropped back to Poulin. His pass to Howe. Howe couldn't control it, and Gretzky turns again with Uni. Rick wide to Tikkanen. Tikkanen having a problem there at the blue line. Now to Kurri, and he's going the other way. Couldn't turn the move. Carson gets a second chance from center. Fired it right onto the leg of Lowe. And Kurri is tied up over there. Now he gets loose. Kurri's pass ahead. Here's Sinisalo referee. He's now in there. Gretzky a pass in front. And Derek Smith moves back for Philadelphia. Smith's pass goes by everybody down the ice. There'll be no icing with Fuhr out and knocking away into the corner. Flyers in there hitting the Zentel at the line. Samuelson. Derek Smith down the other side. Centered in. Oh! And Fuhr this time robbing another attempt.
Well, one reason I think, Bob, for the great pace that this game has had so far is that extra day off between 6 and 7. Here's the pass across to Sinisalo. Some loose defensive work by the Oilers. Two fellas there, but neither one took them. But Grant Fuhr picked it off just like he was taking a golf ball out of the hole, but it may have been after a birdie.
The shots are 24-17 for Edmonton at this point.
And that's a lot of shots for such a vital game. I thought they'd be much more cautious and quite a bit more concerned about their defensive play, but it's been a great offensive struggle.
6-5 in this period for the Oilers. Flyers now looking for a goal. Still tied at 1. Leslie doesn't get to it. Poulin slides it out. Anderson with Messier coming in. Here's Messier again. Shoots one in. And it bounced away from Hextall. And the Flyers get it out to center. Leslie there. He ran into Honey. There goes Messier. He's up into the penalty will be given to Marsh. Philadelphia upending Messier. This little peek in on you guys in Regina. You heard from these people earlier. They're Philly fans, and the Flyers are right into the middle of this one.
Here's the penalty. Brad Marsh grabs Messier, who hasn't got the puck anywhere near him, and Andy Van Hellemond gives him 2 minutes for interference. And the Edmonton power play, which has been anything but impressive this series, gets another chance to put the Oilers ahead.
They'll have to come back to start this power play from deep in their own zone as the Flyers got rid of it quickly. Messier is carrying the puck out to center, and he ripped the pass in for Anderson. Anderson off the boards, back to Hodge at the blue line. Now a chance for Propp. Shoot! Hextall makes the save, and he hangs on to it with Anderson hoping for a rebound.
Well, Edmonton was late getting people in front of the goal there. And although it was a hard shot, Hextall was well out of his net, no traffic in front of him, and Coffey, as we know, can shoot it. But Hextall's been too sharp to be beaten by a 40-footer. And you can see that to get the puck on either side of Hextall would have meant you missed the net. Nice backhand pass by Hodge. You get it over there in a hurry. And Anderson comes to the front of the net, but very late. C9 coming off the right part of your screen, but he's really not a factor.
These two teams have been close all year. Close in points, power play goals. Total goals scored. Close in the final. And now here's the 7th game, and it's 1-1. Anderson on this power play, looking around to find somebody open. That's not easy. Anderson tossed it back of the net. Out it comes to Coffey, and he whipped a quick shot and missed the goal. Now Charlie Hodge had a notion to shoot it. Nielsen got it back to him again. Hodge winds up to Nielsen again. Nielsen stepped away. Pass to Hodge. Hodge ready. Shoots. And Hextall again. Had his eyes on the puck all the way.
Well, Philadelphia killing a penalty in that box formation they get. They sag very quickly when the puck comes in deep. And they are really deciding that they're going to give you the point shot and not the inside play. You see how many people are, how deep they are? Now, this is the kind of a shot that can go in, though. That came through some legs, and I don't watch Hextall try and hunt for it. He's trying to find it now. Moving around, and it hits him. And was loose for a half a second. But if you're going to stand in front of the Philadelphia net, Bob, you're going to feel it.
A minute and 6 seconds left in the Marsh penalty. 2 goals in the game. Both in the first period. Philadelphia first on a power play, by the way, when Edmonton were 2 players short, and then the Oilers tied it. Messier can't win the draw this time. Hextall had a burst of stepping onto the net. Dumped it away. Didn't get it out, though. And again, the play is called. High stick making contact. That was a Philadelphia high stick, so the face-off will be in the Flyer zone.
Crossman just took a two-hander from Messier. I don't know where it hit him. Obviously in a padded area. But if Crossman was a tree, he'd be lying on the ground.
Craven comes off the bench. And Poulin will go to the bench.
The word is that Dave Poulin, in addition to his rib problem, has a broken finger. So we're seeing a lot more of Craven killing penalties than Poulin, who's one of the premier penalty killers in the National Hockey League.
Now we're set. This time, Sutter walking into the corner, hit by Messier immediately. Messier trying to kick it loose. And Gretzky takes it back to Coffey. Here's a good pass, back to Coffey. Coffey winds up into Huddy again. Centered it. Messier stopped at it. A scramble. And Coffey missed the goal. We're all over Hextall now. Anderson at 99. Gretzky centered it. Anderson stopped away. Gretzky misses on the short side. Great pressure by Edmonton. Coffey from the blue line. Into Gretzky. Gretzky stepping in a little bit. And he gave it away to Sutter. Sutter moving up, waiting for help. Now he takes his shot. That's off Coffey and the Fuhr. 8 seconds left in the penalty. And it's stolen inside the line. This is Craven getting into Sutter. Sutter fighting for possession and on the board. Marsh is on the ice. Philadelphia killing the penalty. We're still tied at 1.
Sutter took an awful shot from Anderson from behind. And we've talked about Sutter's bad back. When you get hit from behind and you don't know it's coming, you get that whiplash action. And although Sutter isn't telling anyone, he's playing in a great deal of pain.
5 minutes and 42 seconds left in the period. There is Sutter in on the boards, and here comes Anderson.
He couldn't have done a better job with a staple gun, could he?
Hetman, number 9 for Philadelphia. He's against Krushelnitsky, who has not been on there a heck of a lot for Edmonton. But the pace of this game, you've got to get everybody out once in a while. Now at center ice to Propp. Nice play by Propp. Tocchet has to back away. It goes up and he set it up. And it's stopped by Fuhr. That quick shot, but coming in from the blue line. Smith slides it out. It sorely gets to center. Smith is there with him. Smith passing on the left, and Hunter is offside. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment. Celebration of Excellence, the National Hockey League Awards from 8 to 9 p.m. That's at Eastern Time, hosted by Alec Trebek. And we hope you'll jot that down on your calendar. It'll be a good night. 5:10 left in the second period. 1-1 is the score. 7th game is at issue. Kurri sets it in. Kurri. A very, very quick shot by Kurri. And Hextall didn't have a chance to move.
Watch Gretzky. It looks like a harmless little play. Deacon and strips Propp with the puck. Gretzky intercepted to Kurri. Kurri shrugs his shoulders, puts it off the left post and in. I don't think Hextall had much of a chance to get up and cut the angle down. And when you get a shot taken that quickly, you're moving when it comes. And Jari Kurri is as good as any player in the league at making that very quick shot.
14:59. The go-ahead goal for Edmonton. Gretzky and Deacon assisted on the goal by Kurri. So the Oilers lead for the first time. Now, right back in there, Philadelphia. Marsh trying to center one, gets it back to Howe at the blue line. He dumped it in high, and Fred Fuhr actually had to leave the ice to haul that one down. And he did it.
Well, I guess my question now to you Bob, is, and I've asked this almost every game we've done, is there one more pail of adrenaline in that orange and black well that the Flyers have gone to so often this year?
We've seen it happen so often this year with this Cinderella team. What can you say? Of course they'll come back.
What?
We seem to think so.
Watch
Here's
out,
that
quick.
great pass.
See, Hextall was too far back in his net, but he didn't know what Gretzky was going to do with it. And he couldn't come out to cut the angle down. That's an example, I think, Bob, where a perfect shot is the only way it was going to be a goal.
And he would not have gotten that shot had the pass not been right on the blade of the stick, because Kurri actually was being checked. But he had time enough to flip. Smith and Messier are in the penalty box. Looks at the minors. Roughing. Anderson coming in. Anderson, a pass right in front of the net. And a great save off Messier. Hextall stopped Messier. He was in alone. Oilers poured on. Pulin's shot didn't get through. Comes back to Kushelniski. Here's Messier again, and he flipped it across in front of Hextall. Craven is belted hard by Messier, and he might get a penalty. Certainly, there are penalties called. They were all going at it really over the last 20, 30 seconds. And Messier came out of nowhere and hit the Flyers player on the boards, and he's gone.
Cross-checking, boarding, hitting from behind. And that is a penalty that the referees should call all year, right up to the finals. You know, the referees, if they ever executed the rule book right to the nth degree, there'd be all kinds of penalties. Their job is to interpret the rule book so the game doesn't get away on them. They've taken an awful lot of abuse this year, especially in the playoffs, about the way they referee the game. You can't call everything. The question is, what do you let go? Here is a great hit. Here's a stop on Messier, and Hextall can go across the net faster than Messier can bring the puck across the net. And that's one of Hextall's great skills. I can't remember him being beaten by a player coming in off the wing and beating Hextall, those big long legs across the net.
Charging was the call, if you're interested, against Messier. 16:02, so 3:58 left of the period. And the Oilers are ahead by a goal, 2-1. Here now, a big power play opportunity for Philadelphia. They had a two-man advantage when they got their only goal of the game at 1:41 of the opening period, when Craven scored for Maclean and Crosby. Messier was one of the players in the box, Coffee the other. Messier is in there now as the Flyers try to even it up. Up the center comes Howe, moving in. Nice move by Howe around Muni. Howe still has it. Now Muni falls, knocks the puck away from Howe. Howe gets it back again, and McTavish is there. Again, it goes high over the grass and into the crowd. Pretty good bit of work by Mark Howe.
I saw a little heredity working there, trying to lift his stick up. You couldn't lift his father's stick up either. And Mark Howe is another guy that's playing hurt. And Pat Croce, the rehab and strength coach for the Flyers, has done a remarkable job with a lot of these players. After they work out with Croce, they get a t-shirt saying, "I survived Pat Croce." And you know who his cousin is? Jim Croce, the late great folk singer, who's one of his finest songs, "Time in a Bottle."
And he's got more of those, folks. 3:37 left in the period. Coffee on the boards to Gretzky. Flipped it out to McTavish. He couldn't get by Howe. Turning at the line and coming straight down the ice is Eklund. Eklund looks bounce. Shot by Propp. Not much on it. It's offside. Linesman Finn there to call it. You know, Harry, that puck was outside the line by no more than an inch and maybe a bit.
Finn was very fortunate on that call, which was a good call. He was right on the side of the rink the puck was on. That would have been a difficult call had Finn been on the other side of the rink. But the Flyers aren't arguing. And it hit about 6 people coming out of the zone. And had the Flyer defenseman got it back in front of the net in a hurry, it might have been a problem for the Oilers, who were anticipating the puck was leaving the zone.
1 minute and 20 seconds left in Messier's penalty. Edmonton 2, Philadelphia 1.
Well, I want you to know that there's another great event going on in Niagara Falls, June 18th, 19th, and 20th. The Molson Slow Pitch Tournament. All kinds of NHL stars will be there. If you want to see the Falls, why not come that weekend?
McTavish jumping in down the ice. Goes to the bench, and Nielsen hops on. To try and help kill the penalty for Edmonton. Coffey got it to center. Nielsen picked it up. Ran to the bench, now lost it. The Propp. The Coffey again. This time it's deflected over the glass. The crowd. And 59 seconds left in Messier's penalty with 2:57 left in the period.
Well, from a Philadelphia viewpoint, this script, and I'm sure Mike Dean is going to remind his players of this when he goes in between the second and third period, is very similar to the last two scripts that we saw. Going into the third, Edmonton was ahead, tried perhaps to play too defensively too long. Philadelphia got a goal. Edmonton couldn't get the momentum back, and Philadelphia is here playing the seventh game. For those two reasons.
And they're still working very hard. Gutsy hockey team, this Philadelphia Flyers unit. All this without their big scorer, Fuhr. 2:40 left in the period, and the Flyers come in to try and tie it up. Off the boards, it's cleared, but not out. Propp slides it into the corner. There's Kevin Lowe in there in a hurry. He got it to Howe at the line and stopped it. And it's still in there now out. Propp dropped it back to Crosby. Flyers come in, craving for the net. Beauty there. Now McTavish again. He is having a super game. McTavish, 14. 2:15 left in the period, and 15 seconds left in the Messier penalty. Markow and Sinisalo's shot nowhere near the net. Geisel missed it. Gretzky sets up a 2-on-1. Kurri is with him. Gretzky! Kurri! And it's stopped by Samuelson. Penalty is over. Gretzky and Kurri. What more would Ken Samer want on a 2-on-1 in the final 2 minutes of the period? But Kurri had a shot go off the stick of Samuelson. There's Messier again to Gretzky. Then stopped by Hextall. And a solid goaltender smothers it. Hangs on.
While the two familiar characters on that 2-on-1, they've completed so many. Watch Samuelson, who's the defenseman back in the middle of your screen there. He plays Kurri. You see, he plays Kurri. And it's a good thing he did, because he got the shaft of a stick on it. It's a good gamble. Gretzky loves to make the pass to Kurri, and I'm sure if Wayne Gretzky sees this replay, which he will, he'll say, that's the one time maybe I should have looked to Kurri and gone to the net myself. This guy Samuelson played great hockey for Philadelphia. People said that was a horrible trade. Froze for Samuelson. Samuelson has done an excellent job as the fifth defenseman for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Minute and a half left in the period. Oilers lead by 1 goal. Huddy at the blue line. Rink wide. Messier slapped it. Nielsen is in there alone. And Hextall stopped him. Here's Sutter coming back out. Sutter up over the line. Sutter nearly got away from Coffey. He's still on the puck. Dropped it back, and Samuelson missed it. Sutter covered his man. Anderson stopped. Here comes Charlie Huddy up on the right boards. Slides a pass down. Anderson. Stopped by Hextall again. Hextall covering angles perfectly. There's Sutter all the way back. Sutter dumped it away. Now comes after it. Sutter to the line with 45 seconds left in the period. Marsh is up there now with Sutter. It goes in. On the far side, Carson. He centered it. Keekinen is there. Takes his time. Now gets it up to Gregg. Breaks pass down to Nielsen. A little too far. 30 seconds left in the period. Steve Smith left it in. 25 seconds left in this second period. Long pass in behind Edmonton. On the icing with Lowe going back. Icing is called. 18 seconds left in the period. And they bring it back into the Philadelphia zone for this next faceoff.
Well, Bob, if there's overtime, everyone's going to have to be carried out of this rink, including you and I. At this pace, this has just been a fine example of 40 great athletes going at top speed. Ken Nielsen tries to beat Hextall across the net. No, sir! And Nielsen could hear the guy coming from behind. He didn't want to get his arms chopped off at such a tender age of 30.
That was Marsh coming back to help prevent a scoring play by Nielsen. Beauty at the blue line. Too much traffic in front of Hextall. He didn't shoot it. They keep it in. And Travis again on the ice. Working for it. 5 seconds left in the period. Hunter will shoot it, and that'll do it. It'll be wide of the net, and the crowd has it. There's the end of the second period. And another dandy.
Well, the first 2 periods have been as good as you could possibly ask, and I'm going to predict this. Don't leave now. The third period's going to be better.
The scoring play, Kurri at 14:59 from Gretzky and Tikkanen. And the score at the end of the second period. The Edmonton Oilers 2, Philadelphia Flyers 1.
Well, Ron, it was the idea of Jay Snyder, who is the owner of the Flyers. He thought it would be a good gesture in the fact that we have not won the Stanley Cup in approximately 11 years now, and he thought it would be an emotional boost for the current players, although they played outstanding without us, certainly. And I don't think it really would have made much difference whether we were here or not. But I think also it was just a gesture on the part of the Flyers and appreciation for the alumni. Most of the guys are still in the Philadelphia area. They do a lot of community work and whatnot, and he thought it would be just a nice idea to have them here for such a crucial game.
You played 9 seasons in Philadelphia. Was the sense of tradition in Philadelphia as strong then as it is now?
Yes, it was. Mind you, my first year there, they hadn't won as of yet, but they were a coming club. You could see it. And not only that, they were a well-run organization from the top right down, and I think that's basically why they're so successful. They groom good people, they train people, they work with their people. They're good to their athletes after they've finished playing. For the most part, they've hired a lot of the guys, to stay in the organization in one way or another, and they treat us very well when we come to the Spectrum. So it's become more of a family thing.
Whenever there's an alumnus, Don, we allow Don Cherry one question. He wants to recall a shot you took in the Canada Cup. You have to tell the story quick.
Don, I don't want to remember that one, but unfortunately it was in '76. Gary Sargent with the U.S. team at the time shot the puck, and I was jostling in front of the net, and the puck came up, hit me in the cheekbone, and it was quite a blow to my coconut, as I call it, but I survived it, and here we are, no worse for wear.
Well, you survived that. Now, can Philadelphia survive down 2-1? What about this game?
Well, it's a one goal, and let's face it, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that it's very close, and anybody can win the hockey game at this point. The Oilers have had the better opportunities at this point. The Flyers are going to have to get a little more forechecking going if they want to prevail. Hextall has been outstanding again. If the Flyers can get a few more opportunities, get a little more pressure in the Oilers' zone, I think they can get the Oilers to maybe cough the puck up.
Well, a defenseman's thoughts on great goaltending, which tonight, of course, comes compliments of Grant Fuhr and Ron Hextall. It's 2-1, the Oilers leading after 2 periods of play. It's close to midnight in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Let's get some reaction there now from Daryl Maloney.
Here we go. Okay, we're talking to Doug Grant. Doug, a former member of the Detroit Red Wings and also with the St. Louis Blues. Doug, after 40 minutes of play, your assessment of the game?
Well, Daryl, I'm surprised at the number of shots that's been taken on the 2 goaltenders tonight. I thought it'd be a bit more defensive than this, but the way the goaltenders have played, I guess the teams are so confident that their guys are going to stop the puck anyway.
Ron Hextall playing quite a game, though.
Hextall is unreal, I must say. The poise he's showing for a first-year player is unbelievable. Of course, Fuhr is playing as great as he always does, and that's for the last few years.
Doug, this is the way it should be. 2 great teams going into the 7th and deciding game.
Definitely, Daryl. There's no other way it could go. I think, like you said, the 2 top teams in hockey to go down to the 7th game, and maybe even overtime.
Doug, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome, Daryl.
Now back to you, Ron.
Okay, Daryl, from coast to coast, we're the team of choice around here, but let's just get a quick chat with the fans here, how they feel things are going to go from now on.
Right. Well, I think if the Flyers win, double or nothing, my roommate owes me $40. Hi, Graves.
Okay, what do you think? You going to change allegiance or what?
No way. Flyers by 5 goals. 5 goals.
And the Oilers, and they're going to take her. If they don't, the bank's after me.
Okay, again, the celebration continues here at the Press Club in Regina. An interesting note, Ron, we got a call from California wondering where Regina, Saskatchewan was. He saw us on television watching the hockey game in California. He called to say hi. Anyway, we're having a great time here. It's going to be an interesting third period. Let's go back to you now.
Well, we know where Regina, Saskatchewan is, and you know, too, that there's some fans cheering elsewhere.
You better believe it. You see Regina, stick with the Flyers all over. True and true, Saskatchewans.
Okay, well, let's get back to this hockey game and maybe a thought on what the Philadelphia Flyers will try to do as they come out.
Well, the one thing, I don't know what I just said, what the Flyers are going to do, but the one thing Edmonton can't do, as they've done so many times before, is sit on a 2-1 lead. If they think they're going to do it, this team, Philadelphia, has come back 3 times, 2-0, and won the game. And if they think a 1-0's going to hold up and they play that way, they're in deep trouble. Go at them both times. Edmonton's got to go and get another goal.
Well, in 1971, the last time a series went to a 7th game, the home team was leading 2-1 after 2 periods, and that's what the situation...
For the third period here in Game 7 of this great Stanley Cup final. Only 1 goal in the second period, and that goal has given the Edmonton Oilers a 2-1 lead. It was scored by Jari Kurri at 14:59, a typical Kurri shot and a typical Gretzky setup.
Tikkanen causes the turnover with this takeout. Gretzky jumps in front of his man on the boards, gets control of it, looks for Kurri. Kurri shrugs his shoulders, puts it off the post and in. And there are only 4 or 5 guys in the whole league that could ever have scored that goal. And unfortunately for the Flyers, Jari Kurri is one of them.
The shots in the second period were 13-6 for the Oilers, 18-12 in the opening period. But there's no way they can keep up the pace they showed us in period number 1, although they're giving it a heck of a run.
The pace will be better this period, boys. The season is nearly over, and the real problem with Edmonton in the 3 games they've lost to the Flyers was the fact they could not score the goal that would permanently bury the Philadelphia hockey team. And here we are in exactly the same position again. And the question, I guess, is, will the Flyers do what they've done 2 straight games, or will Edmonton successfully defend this lead or add to it and win the Stanley Cup?
It's a great comeback team, this Philadelphia outfit, and they're shooting the puck in from the opening face-off for the third period. Muni goes against the flow to Nielsen, and he's trapped in there by Craven. Pass to Messier is tipped away. Samuelson takes it again from center, trying to shoot it in. Sinisalo is in there after it. Fuhr covering for Nielsen. He's bumped by Craven. Messier slow in clearing it. Nielsen lost it. Here's a chance. And it's blocked by Lowe. The defenseman made a great play going down in front of the shot from Zezel. Sinisalo again and Zezel. Bumped by McTavish. Marsh has to back up inside his own blue line. 2 teams changing very quickly. Shot down the ice. This is going to be icing with Coffey in there. I think, no, it's been waved off on the other side. The play continues. It's center. This is Howe. Missing Maclean with the pass. Goes in front of Fuhr. Propp stops it. Fires back to Maclean coming in after it. Gets away from a check. It's thrown along the boards to center ice by Hunter. Maclean again shoots it in for Propp up on the play. And Charlie Huddy had him covered. Here's McTavish. Again McTavish. McTavish hit the goal post. Another shot went by in front of Hextall. McTavish having a super game. And nearly got the insurance goal the Oilers were looking for on that rush. Rollins the line and stick handling in. And Tikkanen on the left wing shoots. Picked away by Hextall. Here's Mellanby. He's back in there for Philadelphia. Failed to go around the defense. Here's Gretzky. Shoots. And there's Hextall jamming the legs again. Stopping that shot. Kurri in the corner. Gretzky waits for it. Gretzky is upended by Samuelson. And the puck is out to the line to center ice. This is Carson picking his way in. Carson on the boards is hit. There goes center after Gregg. It took a funny hop, and out comes Fuhr with Mellanby flying over him. And he heads on from the north lane.
Craig McTavish, the young man without the helmet, nearly beat Hextall, and one that got through him. Here it is. It's a backhander, and it goes off the post. But you can see that snuck through Hextall, and was a near miss for McTavish.
And a near miss right off the face-off, with a puck deflected wide of the net up there. Messier flipped one in behind the goal. Hextall out and cleared along on the glass. Craven dumped it to center ice. Nearing the 3-minute mark on the third, another getaway up the line, but Sinisalo was offside as Poulin intercepted a pass at the Edmonton blue line.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers have made it awfully clear, awfully soon into this third period, that they're going to force the play. So you can look for some heavy-duty forechecking. You can look for some defensemen pitching down the boards. You can look for Howe and Crosby coming late on the rush. Gretzky gets a half a breakaway here, but in order to stay outside, he had to slow up. And Bob, he couldn't have put that puck past Hextall with a gun.
Hextall playing the angles, we've said that before, perfectly. And Gretzky had no room. Hextall out of the net again. Look at him, look around. Faking one way, shooting at the other. He's making some dandy plays in there. Ruotsalainen and Gregg are the two defensemen starting Anderson. Anderson sees Nielsen. He bluffed it, going in there. Nielsen plays it back, and Gregg up. Gregg shoots one. That's stopped by Hextall again, covering the angle, and he allowed the puck to come right to him, and then jumped him.
Well, one thing we can see for sure in the first 3 minutes, it appears that Edmonton is not going to fall back and try and play a prevent defense. They're going to go after the next goal. And here is a pretty Bolitnikov pass. Kent Nielsen, who makes another pass back across the ice to Randy Gregg, and he walks in as everybody takes someone else. But you can see he's shooting from a terrible angle on a big, strong goaltender that's as square as a door again. He lets it hit him and finds it before any Oiler can get close to it.
Messier wins the draw. Gregg at the blue line, wrapped on it. Hit the goal post. He hit the goal post on the inside. He centered to Nielsen. That one off the inside of the post. Maybe a 50th of an inch away from a goal. A rush from the point.
And who was saying that Philadelphia is a team of destiny, Bob?
Pass to center is a good one. You're watching this shot miss to them. Poppy back there, ripping it away from Shorty, but it was too high. And it's into the crowd again.
Well, you have to have a little luck to be a good goalie, and twice tonight this man has been beaten. But the goal didn't go on the scoreboard because his buddies, the poster crossbar, made the save. And how relieved he must have been when he heard that ping as it went off the metal instead of that when it goes off the mesh. Gregg is shooting from the point now. The left point, down goes Hextall, and bomb. The puck was off the post and stays out.
That's McTavish, number 14, getting it back from Coffey, and now will bring it out. Coffey's pass onto the skate of Hunter. McTavish backing up, and Eklund is in watching him. So is Propp. Flyers forechecking all right, but the Oilers get the puck down the ice. McTrapp back quickly. At the line, Coffey takes the shot. Hunter trying to deflect it, he missed it. And Shorty can't keep it in. Hunter is upended inside the line. And Shorty decides to do a little watching. And boy, is he going. He's in. And he was nailed by Howe in the last second. Nice burst of speed by McSorley. He's out there as the checker. There's McTavish lumbering in. McTavish, oh! And he rolled in just wide as he was knocked down. And now he and Hextall are into it in the goal. And Hextall is going to work. McTavish goes flat on the ice.
Well, Ron Hextall, I don't think, understood that McTavish was tripped by the Philadelphia defenseman after he shot it and slid into him. But you got to remember that Hextall has seen more than one white shirt come into him tonight. And if you're a goaltender trying to concentrate on the puck, it is a little disturbing, but not only you have to stop pucks, but you have to stop bodies. And he can't get out of the way because he's afraid that the puck may go in the net. Now you can see he's got him down. He holds him down. Hextall's about twice the size of McTavish. In comes McCrimmon, and this is what resulted.
And Sorley now has to be pulled out of there by Ron Finn.
Well, on that play, there's no question McTavish did not go in on his own. Ron Hextall, a very unpopular guy here. He's about as popular with the fans in the Northlands Coliseum as a cockroach is when it scurries across the Sunday breadstick. Here's the collision that caused the problem, and here's Hextall's reaction to it.
And McTavish made a heck of a bid to score on the play when he was upended. He was on the ice, but managed to get a stick on the puck and just missed the far corner along the ice.
There's John Ziegler with his hand on his chin, and to the left of him with his hand on his chin is Brian O'Neill. The two guys that run the league. And they have to be as pleased as you could possibly be about the way the Stanley Cup playoffs have gone this year.
Well, they have it sorted out in the moment. A little delay here at 4:31 of the third period when Hextall and McTavish, I'm sure, haven't assessed penalties. McTavish is now going to the penalty box at the far side, and he's in there now. Edmonton is stepping in, so obviously he is serving a penalty handed out to the goaltender Hextall.
Lanny Van Hellemond is giving penalties to some people who came into the fray, in addition, I think, to giving them to Hextall and McTavish. But I think they're all going to be even, Bob.
To Philadelphia's number 22, Rick Toppin. To the Oilers number 14, Craig McTavish. And to the Oilers number 33, Marty McSorley. All 2 minutes each for roughing.
Toppin and Hextall, and Edmonton is serving the minor penalty to Hextall, McSorley, and McTavish. All roughing penalties here at 4:31. Still 2-1. Raymond started the scoring in the first period. When the Flyers had a 2-man advantage. Messier tied it at 7:45 of the first. Kurri got the go-ahead at 14:59 of the second. And we're nearing the 5-minute mark of the third now. There's Tikkanen to Gretzky, who's moving up on the play. Gretzky centered it. Kurri is on the wrong side to get a shot. Low. Pounded Mellanby before he could move up on the puck. Now Mellanby flat slow. Puck goes back into Hextall. Hextall played it to the left side, and Tikkanen ran into his man, Mark Powell. Mellanby trying to get loose going in there against Low. And they bumped together, but Low touched the puck. And icing is called against Philadelphia. They can't afford to get too much going outside of scoring plays now. But you feel, Harry, that they're heating up a little bit.
Well, this has been a fairly sensible series physically. There's been very few fights. It's been a hard-fought, bitter series at times. But neither team is going to go down without a struggle. And I think hockey fans across Canada have got to realize these benches are loaded with guys that will do anything to win the Stanley Cup. And I mean anything. And what's wrong with that? You get your mitts on that great trophy.
There's the draw, and Greg stepping around one man. Marsh took him out of the play, though. Propp will clear the zone. Or send a salad to Propp. He has some room there. Messier, though, the big train is with him. And Messier ties him up. Propp got his stick through behind Messier to knock it away. Nielsen across in front of his own net with the pass. Messier and Anderson catching up to him. Messier coming in to Anderson. And he's tied up by Samuelson. Again, Messier. Bumped by Anderson. And rather, Samuelson. Now here's the shot by Anderson. And that's deflected off Marsh's stick. And you see with the crowd, Marsh getting a little encouragement from the goaltender Hextall as he made that save.
Brian Propp, he's probably the most likely Flyer to tie this game. He's had a great playoff. Broke Reggie Leach's playoff record for most points for a Flyer in the playoffs. And you know he went without a point in the first series of the playoffs. So this guy has lived up to all possible expectations that you could possibly tack on a 50-goal score. And he missed 6 weeks with a bad knee. He got the bad knee against these Oilers on a low body check from Craig Muni in the middle of the winter.
Coming up to the 6-minute mark of the third. The last game of the year. Stanley Cup is downstairs being guarded, ready for the presentation. A crowd anticipating it might be for the Oilers. But a lot of time left in this one. And you know what Philadelphia can do when they're down just one goal. Goodness, what they have done, down 2 and even 3 in this series. Craven keeping it in the Melody. Coffee took him out of the play. Oilers get it out. Gretzky took it out, but Teakin and Kurri is with him. Teakin hit the goal post. A bullet shot off the post. Somebody talked about destiny when they talked about these Philadelphia Flyers. Well, we've had 3 posts now behind Hextall. Just make a note of that, folks. As this third period winds down, long lead pass to Gretzky. Can't stay onside. I do not believe he will be onside if he touches it. He touches it, and in fact, he is offside.
Well, that's the Teakin who has done hardly a thing. As you can see by that graphic, no points in his last 12 games playing left wing with playing Gretzky. It almost seems impossible. But here is one that had Hextall handcuffed, but again, the old post. You know what Hextall's going to tell you? What are you worried about? I got out, cut the angle down, look how far out he is. And if he misses me, he hits the post. That's everybody getting excited about.
Looked to be some room on that short side. That was a hard shot. I don't know if Hextall picked it up immediately with the defenseman backing up. But Teakin got good wood on it. And the puck rattled the post. Hextall's had a few scares back there with that bell ringing behind him.
You said 3, I think 4 if you count McTavish's. That wasn't nearly as hard as the other 3. That's a month's worth of goalposts, not a game's worth.
Kevin Lowe can't move it out. Hard shot by Sinisalo. Whistles off the stick into the crowd.
Well, I think the Philadelphia Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers have proven that to become a Stanley Cup contender, you have to build good organizations and good teams follow naturally. A little like a powerful flower on a healthy plant.
I like this. The water bottle on the Philadelphia net was empty. Hextall put it down and rattled it over towards the player going to the Philadelphia bench. He got the message quickly and sent out a new one to him. There it is.
Another perfect pass. Not with the puck, but with the water. What's that Hextall going to do next?
Tell me, when he hollers, everybody jumps.
Well, one thing that Mike Keenan told me, that in addition to his obvious goaltending talents, Ron Hextall is emerging very quickly as a very positive leader on this team. And when you have a good goalie with those qualities, you're going to win a lot of games.
This one is 2-1. Edmonton by a goal, nearing the 7-minute mark of the third. Face off at Cunning shoots. George stopped it. Cecil knocked to the ice. Pushiniski looking around and cleared it to Anderson. He couldn't hang on to it. Flyers now looking a little more organized. Sinisalo's pass. That's a good one, but Cecil was nailed by Anderson. Marsh drew it through. Sinisalo going in. Fuhr looking out. Fired it by the empty net. Off the boards, and now Messier is on the move again. From the pass to Coffey. Going in. Quick shot stopped by Hextall. Out for Propp. One man back as Propp is in. His shot was spoiled by that one man, Charlie Honey. Puck knocked into the corner. Flyers get it left and going in. Heck up around the net, got it back out. And Nielsen turns. Nielsen to Messier. He's opened up a bit again now. As they come up to the 8-minute mark of the third. Oilers want to make changes. Daniel forced back by McSorley. McSorley bumped him. McTavish on the boards, can't find it. Smith does. Rattles one into the corner. Hextall, the goaltender, clearing it out over the line. Hunter was back. Gave it away to Tuck. But it bounced inside the line. And Daniel has to hurry back. And here comes McSorley again. Daniel got his pass away quickly to Tockett. Through the center ice. And the Oilers shoot it off the boards and in. Right to the goaltender. Hextall whipped it away. Lead pass near center. That was nearly a good one for Poulin. Here's Samuelson stopping it. His shot is knocked back in the net. Flyers pressing here now. Looking dangerous. Poulin centered it. But McSorley was right on the spot to pick it up. McSorley up over the line. Kevin Lowe going in. And Hextall out with Lowe leaping high to get away from the goaltender. And he jumped right over him. The Stanley Cup final returns in a moment.
Steve Smith is getting a little action here as a defenseman. The Oiler Brain Trust decided to dress Smith instead of Pozar, and I think the reason is that Randy Gregg hurt his shoulder at the tail end of Game 6, and they wanted to make sure they had 6 healthy defensemen.
The Oilers are offside as they got it out and back in. 8 minutes and 44 seconds have been played in the third period of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final. Kurri has the go-ahead goal, scored in the second period. Mike Keenan wants to make another change before they start this play, so no doubt Glenn Sather will counteract, and he does.
There hasn't been very much in the way of line matching, but this period, Sather seems determined to get Hunter, McSorley, and McTavish against the lifeline of Philadelphia, Tockett, Propp, and Ekman.
And of course, Sather with home ice has the last change. So McTavish is there against Tockett. And Mark Howe gets away from 2 checks, passes in. Here's Ekman jamming on the brakes. Ekman centered it, scrambled in front. And it's McCrimmon centering it. McTavish in front of Fuhr. He collided with the goaltender. And the Oilers clear of his own. Mark Howe looking good on that last rush through center ice. Gives it to McCrimmon to Ekman. Here's the backup, and Hunter skips in there after him. McCrimmon again. On the right side is Ekman, coming across his own line. Ekman to center. Now to Howe. Howe going in. Howe stick-man in through. Passing in front. They say by Fuhr. Not a hard shot, but was going to the corner. There's Tockett digging it out. Centered it. Ekman. Shoot. That's deflected wide. There's Lowe. Clear. Now the Oilers get a 2-on-1. Up the center comes McTavish with McSorley. McSorley tried to set up McTavish. Here's another chance. McSorley does. But McCrimmon had him covered on the second attempt. At the halfway mark of the third period, Coffey gets some room. On with the Jetson. He's going for the net. Coffey around the net. Nice play by McCrimmon. And he fires it down the ice. It was tipped by Huddy. No icing, they say. Messier back. Messier's pass. On the boards. It's going right down to the netminder. Hextall. He's looking at Anderson coming in. A pass to Poulin. Up with Craven. Samuelson to Sinisalo. He's caught near center by Coffey. 9.5 minutes left in the third period. 1 goal apart, these two. Here in Game 7. And what a game it is. Here's Samuelson dumping one in wide of the goal. Huddy hanging on. Craven after it. Poulin in there forechecking. The Flyers are trying to do something now. It's tossed ahead. Nielsen behind Samuelson. But Samuelson got a stick on it. He's up there. The center. Rolling one into Fuhr. That's Smith with the puck. Up to the right side. And Kurri can't hang on to it. Crowd buzzing now with 9 minutes left in the third period. 1 goal, not much of a lead in the 7th game. At the line, Philadelphia pressing, and Fuhr got his glove on it. And then Sutter is in there, bumping in front of the net with Randy Gregg. Sutter throwing the punch now. And there'll be some penalties here once they get them apart.
This is the very first time, I think, tonight that Grant Fuhr has had to contend with any Flyer from a physical viewpoint. And we all know what's gone on at the other end.
It's been a while since we've had a Stanley Cup final game like this one. And this is the 7th. Wow. Face-off just coming up now to the left of Fuhr. And Gretzky comes back from the Edmonton bench. 2-1. Edmonton in front. 8:46 left in the third period. And they're all ready to go. Bellamy stepped inside. Back out down. They drop it in, and Sutter waits. Smith bumped by Sutter. Markow stops it. Gretzky up for checking Howe. Pass through nearly. And Sutter behind everybody. There's Derek Smith. He's bumped by Gregg. There's Messier again, barreling away, going in. Gretzky to Kurri. And Kurri shot again. Right into the midsection of Hextall, who turned and lost it. And you know where it went? Across the line into the net. Gretzky had swung over to the left side with Messier. And there it is.
Three dangerous spoilers on this rush. A lovely little pass by Messier. Look where Hextall is. I mean, you might say, why do they keep shooting right at Hextall? But in order to get the puck on the net, when he's that far out of the net, cutting the angle down, you have to hit him. I mean, that doesn't look like a great save, but it's great goaltending.
It's a major part of tending the net, of course, knowing where you are and covering the angles. I think this is the best we've seen of any goaltender in the league this season, covering angles.
Absolutely. Now, he plays with a team that doesn't allow a late pass very often, and that helps him.
Crowd rising again. They want a goal. And the Flyers want a goal badly. 8:15 left in the third. 2-1. Edmonton as McTavish gives it to Hunter. In there with McSorley. Hunter trying to go for the net. He was checked on the play. Coffey kept it in to Hunter. McTavish. Hammered the shot. It was blocked by Marsh. McTavish was dumped by Tockett. Now Marsh to center. Marsh ripped it in on the boards. Fuhr out of the net. Trying to clear it. Marsh was over there. Now Honey to Coffey on the other side. Oh, Coffey takes his time. Weaves away from Tockett. Not much room over there, so he shoots it in and hit the linesman. Nielsen nearly stole it. At center is Anderson. Anderson stepping in. Little bit of speed by Anderson now. And around the net, he's out front. One hands it over there. And Nielsen tied up by Samuelson. Lowe turns at center. Backhands it in again. There goes Marsh. Here comes Messier. He bumped the defenseman on the board. Messier gets it loose. Hit back in the net on the other side. Samuelson giving it to Anderson. Lowe from the blue line. No place to go, so he shoots it around the net. Gregg tried to kick it into Anderson. He did. There's Nielsen. Getting loose. Nielsen out front. A pass shot. That hits somebody in front. And two Flyers are away. Sinisalo moving up to Propp. Can't get a shot through. Kevin Lowe. Anderson won't reach it. Messier is limping off the ice. He has been hurt. Messier has gone to the bench. He barely made it there. There's Poulin shooting it in. 6:30 left in the third period, folks. As the puck goes flying into the crowd again. Messier was nailed in the head
with a shot from the teammate. He's starting to put a little weight on it now. I'd put a little money on the fact he'll be back. Boy, he looks like he's hurting. He's going to the dressing room.
Face off. One by Philadelphia. Crossman moving up into the corner. In front it comes very dangerously close. Flyers battling hard now to try and tie it up here with 6:20 left. The Oilers pick it up, and it's Kurri with Gretzky. Kurri's quick shot. Hit the rebound, hit the side of the net. Gretzky has it. Tried to center it. Kurri is there, turning away from Dingo. And Hextall takes a look. Soft pass into the corner. At the line, Gretzky knocked it down. Played it up on the right side to Kurri. He centered it. Now here's Coffey. Coffey back to the goal. Coffey. He sees Gretzky. Gives it to him. And tied up in front of the net is Crossman and Tikkanen. So they call the play. So I guess there will be penalties. The Stanley Cup final, that Canadian tradition.
With 5:44 left in the period, with Crossman and Keegan, and there you can see they got bear hugs on each other. And the reason the fans are cheering is because Mark Messier, who was helped to the dressing room, has returned to the bench.
There was where Messier was hurt. He had gone to the dressing room, walked it off a little bit. He came back out to the bench, and here he is now, lacing up the skates again. He went out and made a kind of a hurting-looking circle, and he's still trying to work off that injury as he stopped his shot. But when he stepped on the ice, it was rather touching because everybody stood up and cheered loudly. Messier is on the ice again. The penalties, Tikkanen and Crossman. Tikkanen for roughing, Crossman for holding, and there's Mark Messier in obvious pain, but he wants to get back into this one.
Well, Mark's had a history of knee injuries with twist ligament damage, but that was definitely a shot on goal. And Ron Hextall has been heroic again tonight, and Bob, and look at him. He likes this stuff. He thinks this is fun.
I watched him walk in the night before the game, and I think he was the first in the long line of Flyers that arrived here at the Northlands Coliseum by bus. And he walked in, and his face was so stern looking, and so, well, he looked nervous, but obviously he's not nervous. He shakes it off in a hurry.
Randy Gregg shot it, and it hit Messier on the ankle. Now, if he can get the last 5 minutes and 44 seconds out of this game without taking his skate off, he'll probably be all right. But if he takes his skate off, he may never get it back on. There's Hextall saying to John D'Amico, John, this is what it's all about. This is your last game, and I got about 1,000 more in front of me. Now, some yo-yo, you know, they got a great crowd here, full of noise and enthusiasm, and some dumbbell has to throw a bottle out of the seats when he didn't like the fact that Andy Van Hellemond didn't make a call. It seems there's somebody from the Acorn family sneaks into every hockey game.
Well, Hextall appears to be ready. Andy Van Hellemond says, let's go. 5:44 remaining in the third period. And the crowd rising again. 2-1 Edmonton. And what a final game we've got for you tonight. So happy you're with us. Coast to coast, wherever you are. Here's Lowe knocking it in. Comes back out, and Lowe tapped it again off Cinisano, and it's over the boards at the Philadelphia bench. What a Cinderella team this Philadelphia Fire Club is, coming from behind. They had a tough battle to get this far. I mean, the Stanley Cup final.
Well, absolutely. When you look and see the road the Flyers have taken to the finals versus the road Glenn Sather's Oilers have taken, I think you have to even give more credit to this Flyers team to be sitting here in this position at this time, because it was a much tougher journey.
And this isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. This Philadelphia team keeps coming back. Remember? Only down one goal now. Bounced into Hextall. 5:15 left in the third. McTavish intercepting. McTavish tied up by Sutter. Hunter going after the puck. It comes back to Sutter and McTavish again. And they're in on the board. There's Hunter once more, and Samuelson has him tied up. Once more, the two Port teams are on it. And McTavish falls on the puck. And there's no further play. It gets us down to 4:53 left in the third game of the seventh game of the Stanley Cup final. Now, what more could you ask? Messier comes out and he gets a standing O.
I don't care how many years you played the game, Mark Messier's heart is absolutely full now of the blood it's going to take to win the Stanley Cup, and these fans are helping him with his hand. And he has been Mark Messier tonight.
These hockey players are truly amazing. Shaking off injuries, bruised all over, hardly able to walk, but there's a game tonight. There is. Where's my stuff? And look at Messier now. He barely made it to the bench. Sutter is there against Messier. Ron Finn, the linesman, wants him squaring off. And a face-off won by Messier. Back to the line. The shot. Weak one. Tipped away by Hextall. Tockman coming out. Played it through center. Propp shoots it up to the line. And it's ahead to Anderson. But it hit the linesman, Ron Finn, who was getting back. Messier back, picking up a pass. There's Samuelson. Messier couldn't take it from him. Nielsen does near center and shoots it in. 4.5 minutes left in the third. Here comes Messier, bumping into big Samuelson. Can you believe it? Anderson's shot missing the net by a couple of feet. There's center. Huddy played it back to Coffey to Huddy again. On the boards and Anderson. Anderson gets it up to Gretzky. He flipped it into the corner. And Marsh is back. Now, there are 4 minutes left in the third period. 2-1 Edmonton. Pass stopped by Gretzky. Can't handle it. Marsh turning. Marsh played it up to the line. Philadelphia. Patient now, trying to get one more chance up there. Oilers shoot it in. Stopped by Kurri up the line. And Zezzo got back. Gretzky couldn't take it from him. Greg gave it. Gretzky. That hit the outside of the post. It was tipped by Gretzky and hit the post on the outside. And then Hextall fell on it. 3:34 remaining.
This is the fifth goal post right here. Gretzky chips it between his legs. It actually hit the outside of the net right on the post. It hit Hextall's pad and deflected through his legs and almost in. And Edmonton has done a marvelous job of hemming Philadelphia in so they couldn't get going. And the Edmonton Oilers are 3 minutes and 34 seconds away from their third Stanley Cup in the last 4 years. They can smell it, they can taste it, but they got a little bit of a journey to go before they're going to get it. And the team in orange knows they're one shot away from overtime.
And Savage, Hunter, move up there. And it's Sutter again with Mellenby and Poulin for Philadelphia. There goes McTavish slapping at it. Hunter back to the net, didn't see him. McSorley is on the ice also. And up for 3 Flyers. Mellenby comes up over the line. He centered it. Poulin was tied up. Now Poulin goes after it again. Sutter in there. Sutter in the corner has a skate on it. They'd like a face-off in there. Get nothing better. And Poulin knocks it loose. It's flipped down the ice. McSorley racing in. Hextall out. And Hextall bounced it away on the boards and hustles back to the crease. Great skating goaltender. Can he ever move? Up at center now. Coffey dumped it away. Craven is stopped. In for Messier again. He's breaking for the net. Messier! Oh, what an effort! He flipped it and didn't get much on it. And tried to lift it over Hextall. 2:35 left in the third. 1 goal. That's all that separates these two. Anderson and Messier again. Anderson! Goal!
Here's the shot, just by the defenseman, and right through Ron Hextall. And you can see, if any fault you could give Hextall, he was down a little early. But he didn't see all that. It went through his legs. And whenever you shoot the puck past the defenseman, it's a very tough play for a goaltender.
And the time, you see, 17:36. As you look at it again, out comes Hextall, but you can't stop the ball. Right through the 5-hole, and it's 3-1. Anderson getting an insurance goal here with only 2:24 left. Huddy drawing an assist on a goal. And they're standing here at the Northlands Coliseum. You would think that would be it, but one never knows. Over 2 minutes left. Coffey gets back there. The Flyers had to pull out all the stops now. And they're hustling back. Daniels pass. Propp takes it up the line. Bumped by Kusheliski. 2 minutes left. Here's Dingo off his leg. Gets the center. Propp on it. Into Edmonton. Edmonton going for the net. Propp on the puck. Trying to center it. Oilers covering up now. Gretzky to center. Faking his way in there. Turning around. A pass to Kusheliski. And he shot off Marsh. Minute 35 left. And now the Oilers led by Coffey. To Gretzky. Shooting it in. And Edmonton Oilers are 125 away from the Stanley Cup. There's Genesaro. 1:15 left. Pass on the right boards. Goes in there. And Coffey rolled it back out. It's McSorley charging in. Gretzky gets the pass. Again behind the back to Hodge. Shooting. Hextall kicked out of a minute left. Hunter and Gretzky. Gretzky hanging on to it. 50 seconds to play in his terrific Stanley Cup Final Series. Hextall back there, backhands it out. He could not for more. Philadelphia Flyers gave it everything they had. 39 seconds to play. And the faceoff will come outside the line.
Well, this has been a wonderful exhibition of hockey, this final series and this final game. Reminds me of the old saying, time passes, but memories last forever. And who, anywhere in North America that loves this game of hockey, will ever forget this series?
Hextall comes over to the bench. A timeout has been called by Maclean. They never quit. They have 39 seconds to do something about a 2-goal lead. And that's not much time to do something about a 1-goal lead, let alone 2.
This Stanley Cup is over, Bob, and the Edmonton Oilers will keep the Stanley Cup in Canada for another season.
There's Walter Gretzky up there and his wife.
There will be a lot of tears on the Philadelphia Flyer bench and in the dressing room after this. And Mike Keenan will be torn between being so proud of his team, yet so hurt they couldn't win the last game. It will be a feeling he will never forget.
Hextall inches back into the Philadelphia goal. Mike Keenan thinking what he might have done differently. And I would guess absolutely nothing. He and the Flyers did everything they could. Here in the third period, with the clock down to 39 seconds, the Oilers with Messier against Sutter again on this faceoff. It's Nielsen in the center ice zone with 30 seconds remaining. Low dumping it in. The Edmonton Oilers will win the Stanley Cup. 2 fine teams, and what a great series they have given hockey fans from coast to coast. For one of these teams, there will have to be another day. And for the other team, the Edmonton Oilers, they have won again the Stanley Cup. As the countdown starts, Oilers win the Stanley Cup 87.
coveted award.
We will have an opportunity, we hope, to present Ron Hextall to you on our show here at Hockey Night in Canada a little bit later as he receives the Conn Smythe Trophy from President John Ziegler. We'll have an opportunity to meet some of the Oilers. Captain Gretzky here, being congratulated now by Hextall or the other Oilers, and I'm sure they have some very fine words for this young rookie sensation. Tending the goal for the Philadelphia Flyers in a most remarkable 7-game Stanley Cup final series. They're getting the bubbly ready, Harry.
What they'll say about the sip?
I bet they will. I'm sure the Flyers would have, had it been the other way around. There'll be another day for these Philadelphia Flyers, though. A gutsy team. There's the president, John Ziegler, and you see that gleaming silverware. That's what every kid dreams about. Stanley Cup. A 7th game, and then to win it. Kurri getting the winning goal in period 2, and Anderson having this place explode. The insurance goal at 17:36 of the third. Shots were 43-20. What does that tell you about Hextall's performance once again?
5 goalposts, and if you think that this was a game that Edmonton was lucky to win, I think you have to be honest and say they had far more good chances to score than Philadelphia did, and they scored on 3 of them.
Well, to make this proper and finish, why not bring the cup out to center ice? At least as far as you can get it, gets to the blue line, and there's the presentation now by Mr. Ziegler to Wayne Gretzky, the captain of the Oilers.
Well, if they get those photographers out of the way, they might be able to present the trophy to the guys that deserve it. Those guys have had an easy afternoon taking pictures. Now they want to come in and get their mitts on that trophy.
Gretzky giving the orders to move back a little bit. Let us get our mitts on that mug and get on with it. And here it is. Wayne, my boy.
And you know, the Stanley Cup weighs 30.5 pounds. It's 34.5 inches high. And every hockey kid in North America has been right here in his dreams.
Look at this picture. Steve Smith, a year ago, I don't have to remind you of what happened in the 7th game against Calgary. Gets a chance to raise it.
And he played a good game tonight. And now he can forget that horrendous game last year against Calgary. Well, when the team that finishes first after the 80-game schedule wins in the 7th game of the 4th series, they deserve the Stanley Cup. I don't think there's any question about that.
And the skate around a ring from another first-timer, Marty McSorley. Messier wants a shot at it now.
And have you ever seen McSorley play better?
That's Mark's parents sitting in that section. And he brought the cup over and said, "Look, Dad, what we have once more." There he is. That's Doug
Messier, who has to be as proud as any father could possibly be tonight.
And there's 99. Let's be fair. It looked dicey, very dicey. This 7th game with a very gallant Philadelphia Flyers hockey club coming to town here in Edmonton, having everything in mind to lead with the cup. And they did it. One heck of a shot. But I think the better team won the cup
Two great teams, Bob. And if they were two females, you'd like to date one and marry the other, wouldn't you?
That'd be tricky, wouldn't it?
The cup on high here in Edmonton. Their third cup in the past 4 years. They won a great series, 7 games, and this 7th game was one that I'll remember for a long, long time.
Absolutely as fine a hockey game as you could possibly see. And congratulations to the Oiler coaching staff who remained pretty cool when the heavy winds started blowing from Philadelphia in games 5 and 6. And you could see the way the Edmonton Oilers played tonight. They played with the emotion we knew they'd have, but they played with a game plan that works. And coaches make up the game plans, and players play them.
Ron Maclean is standing by, and he'll be given the opportunity to chat with the son of the Edmonton Oilers, the winners of the Stanley Cup for 1986-87.
And they just announced that Ron Hextall was the Conn Smythe winner, and some fans who don't know what they're talking about had the nerve to boo him.
He had 43 shots to handle tonight. Only 3 got by.
Mr. McSorley, Marty McSorley's father.
He's down there with his son embraced. And there are the rest of the Oilers, whom we'll meet in a moment. Our Stanley Cup playoff coverage continues in a moment.
Oilers are Stanley Cup champions, and for the second time in 3 years, that victory is at the expense of the Philadelphia Flyers. That's the champagne celebration inside the Oilers dressing room, and Hockey Night in Canada's Chris Cuthbert will be in the dressing room in a little while to get player interviews and some of the reaction to this Stanley Cup. I suppose when you've done it as often as the Oilers have done it in the last couple of seasons, you get a little better at how to conduct a celebration, and Glenn Sather has suggested it would be best in his team's interest to take 5 minutes and cool down. As a result, reporters, and there are some 400 here tonight, he's asked that they stay out of the dressing room for 5 minutes and leave the Oilers alone with their thoughts. They can share the celebration and the sweetness of victory, and then allow for the onslaught. Meantime, reaction continues across the country. Let's go first to Corner Brook, Newfoundland, and Daryl Maloney.
Okay. Good.
Well, as you can see, the beer and the champagne is also flowing in Corner Brook right now. Daryl, we can hear you. Go ahead, Daryl. He's not aware, I assume, that we're talking to him. The celebration. Yep.
Edmonton #1.
Well, it's late in Newfoundland right now. They've been watching this game through the later portion of a Sunday and on into June. Hockey Night in Canada, of course, celebrating the Stanley Cup, and so too are the Oilers. This is the latest that the season has ever concluded, and we long ago ran out of words before the Philadelphia Flyers chose to run out of rallies. They have been magnificent, going 7, 6, 7, and 7 in this series to get, of course, to the playoff final against Edmonton, and then only to lose it in the 7th and deciding game. Now let's go to Regina, Saskatchewan, where Steve Ruddock's standing by.
Thanks, Ron. No doubt there will be lots of celebrating in the Oiler dressing room, but the celebrating will be just as furious here at the Press Club in Regina. First of all, let's talk to an Edmonton supporter. What did you think about the game?
Oh, I thought it was good, tough playoff hockey, hand-to-hand, lots of hitting, exceptional goaltending. I don't think the referees were a factor in this game.
Okay, a lot of people disagree.
That's fine. Just an opinion.
Okay, here's a Philadelphia fan, not too happy at this point.
Well, I'd say a lot of exceptional goaltending by both goaltenders. And I'd just like to say that we're very, very proud of the Flyers in Regina. That's all I would say, that the Flyers are #1 in Regina, and always will be.
Okay, one more thing to say here. One more thing to say here, Ron. Regina and Saskatchewan really appreciated being a part of this telecast. Thanks a lot from everybody here. Let's go to Chet Michaels in Vancouver.
Well, Steve, that's a job awfully well done by you. You've been surrounded by that bedlam all evening long, and also our thanks to Daryl in Corner Brook, Newfoundland, for the tremendous job amidst the crowd and the mayhem
on the far east. There's the scene in the Oilers dressing room. They are by themselves right now. The media not allowed in for 5 minutes, but they enjoy a few thoughts and, of course, the congratulations from coach, general manager, and president Glenn Sather, who said that they would have to call on their confidence in this deciding game, and they did so. Now to Vancouver, where Ted Reynolds has a report.
Well, it's only 8 o'clock here, so we do not need beer on the head. This turned into a definite Oiler crowd. Who did you pick?
Philadelphia! They're still the best. Hextall played great.
I picked Oilers! Get going, Oilers!
Great year, Philly. Who did you pick?
Vancouver!
I picked the good guys, and the good guys won.
Well, this turned out to be really an Oiler crowd, but they were going either way, and they've just really enjoyed themselves. And the thing is, out here, it's only 1 minute after 8 o'clock at night, so they can they continue to celebrate. I hope they wouldn't do that. I guess it's champagne, though. Let's go back to Edmonton.
You thought it was tough in the trenches. How about our reporters? And thanks to the crew in Vancouver and, of course, Ted Reynolds for those reports throughout the course of the evening. Well, Murray Craven opened the scoring for the Philadelphia Flyers early in this game. It was said that perhaps that would be a bad move. Edmonton kept getting leads earlier on in the series, and 3 times the Flyers erased 2-0 deficits. In fact, one time it was 3-0, but the big guns of Don Cherry responded. Kurri, Anderson, and Messier had the goals for the Edmonton Oilers. The final score, 3-1. Edmonton wins its 3rd Stanley Cup, the championship of 1987. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup Final. Number 27, 23-year-old Ron Hextall of the Philadelphia Flyers appeared in 66 games in the regular season and all of the playoff games. Moments ago, National Hockey League President John Ziegler presented the Conn Smythe Trophy to the Philadelphia Flyer netminder who had been so brilliant throughout this season. Now let's go to the Oilers dressing room and Chris Cuthbert.
Thank you, Ron. The emotions, of course, have been pent up in this room for over a week, and they are spilling over tonight. First of all, Marty McSorley. Marty, a first-time winner of the Cup. How's it?
You can't explain it. This is what you've always laced on a pair of skates for. You play with a tennis ball, you play with the puck, the pond, the rink, anything. It's just, we come together as a team. There's great individuals helping everybody out, and it's just the biggest, it's the highest thing you can ever do. It's, you'll never take it away from us.
Charlie Huddy, of course, has won the Stanley Cup a couple of times before this, but Charlie, when you've been through what you've been through, this has to be as sweet as they come.
Well, it sure is, Chris. We had to work hard for it. I went to 7 games. Nobody in our team's ever been this far in the finals, and I don't know, for me, I think it feels even better than winning the first one because we had to work so hard at it, and we came through with 20 guys out there, and that's what we needed.
Did you have any feeling in the last week that you'd let it slip away?
Never. There's too much confidence in here, too much experience. It was my first time. I was curious as to what was going on at certain times, and they'd come back. And the guys were such a calming factor with the experience. They could go out and they'd tell us, we're going to regroup, we're going to get it back, and they believed in themselves.
Charlie, how did you maintain the confidence? I was so surprised at how confident this team was. You guys have won 3 times, still haven't learned you're supposed to drink the stuff, but you guys maintained the confidence all along.
Well, we just kept working hard. It was tough for us. We got up a lead, and we didn't realize, we got a little excited. We tried to get things going too fast, and we just couldn't put it together. And tonight it came right down to the end, and we just had to have 20 guys out there just to bear down. And I think maybe a little bit of experience from us, some of the guys being there a few times, and I think that maybe helped out.
Got Kevin McClellan along, too. Thank you, Charlie Huddy. Kevin McClellan, what a series for everybody. Give us your thoughts.
Well, it's nice after last year, after losing the cup there, and everyone counted us out. And they counted us out more or less in tonight's game. And if we had lost it, we would have been bums. But, we came through and we won the game, and that's the main thing.
It was quite a series. You have to hand it to the Flyers. They were certainly worthy of being here and almost worthy to be champions.
Yeah, they never quit. They were down 3-1, and they won the next 2 games. And, they got a gutsy team, and, they're going to probably be back next year.
Tell me, did you ever think that this thing was slipping away?
No, I don't. It's a 7-game series. We played all 80 games this year to get that home ice advantage, and we had to use it tonight, and we did.
Kevin McClellan, congratulations. Now let's go back to Ron McLean.
Kevin McClellan had to play this last 2 weeks. In fact, the series started 2 weeks ago tonight with a terrible bout of the flu, but he was a key. McSorley with 4 goals, and they didn't expect a whole lot of scoring punch, but the Edmonton Oilers, I think, showed maybe what they were made of this evening in a game where a lot of people thought maybe it was visions of a year ago when they
and a tough time against Calgary.
No, the better team won. Hextall kept them in the game. They should even have been in the 7th game. He won the most valuable player. I've been in the dressing room just next hall here, Mike Keenan, and you think that you're in there, you're saying, well, look, guys, we did a good job and all that. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. You feel rotten. There's nothing you can say to the players. There's nothing you can say to the players to make them feel good at all. And the guy that kept them in, just came in, and he's absolutely the best goaltender in the National Hockey League. And I'm going to say maybe the best I've ever seen. Now, I've never seen a display in 7 games like this guy, and if there was ever an MVP, this guy should have got it.
Now let's go upstairs and get some final thoughts from Bob Cole and Harry Neal.
And you know, Ron, we've been talking about the Stanley Cup champions, no question about it. Can we have a moment to talk about the Philadelphia Flyers? They remind me, Harry Neal, of the 1983 Edmonton Oilers when they got their first taste of the Stanley Cup final and lost to New York Islanders. They've got a great goaltender, a young team, and if they're healthy and back again, look out.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail right on the head. They were the second best team this year in the playoffs, but they've learned a lot, especially those young players. I mean, you take a look at their roster. They've have a lot of guys playing for them, never been at a Stanley Cup final game in person. It'll be a lot tougher next year.
What about that crazy rumor, very quickly, that Mike Keenan may be finished after this year? That is unbelievable to me.
The Philadelphia Flyers are as well coached as any team in the National League. And if Mike Keenan's job's in jeopardy, every coach in hockey had better not go to sleep tonight because the news may be under the door tomorrow morning. He is excellent. I'm talking to the Flyers. Keep him. He's a beauty.
He's a beauty, all right. So are the Flyers. So are the Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup champions again. Great series. Ron?
And there's the Conn Smythe Trophy winner for the 1987 Stanley Cup. Is that of consolation?
No, not really. I'd give it up any day for the Stanley Cup, but, we battled hard, and unfortunately for us, we didn't win.
What's your analysis? How do you explain it now?
Well, I thought both teams played a great series, all the way through. I think every game probably could have gone either way. Tonight, I mean, if we would have had a break or two, possibly we would have won, but we just didn't get them tonight.
Ron, did you feel, as so many observed, that you were a team of destiny? There was a point in the Montreal series in Game 1 where there was a mysterious goal scored, and from there on in, a combination of your net minding and what seemed like incredibly timely goals, you got all the way to a 7th and deciding game. Did it surprise you at all?
Yeah, I really did think we were destined. We went through a lot this year with a lot of injuries, and, we still had a 100-point season, and through the playoffs, I thought we were going to be healthy, and we weren't. We had a lot of injuries. Timmy Kerr's still out, Ilka Sinisalo, Davey Poulin. We had so many guys out. It was tough, and, we battled right till the end, and we did give it our best.
How about your thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers, now that it's over?
Well, they got a great team. I think everybody knows that they got a lot of offense, and defensively, I think they're playing a lot better than they used to. I think a couple years ago, if they played as loose as they did, I think we would have beat them, but their defense has improved 100%.
Your first league game, October the 9th, was against Edmonton, a game Philadelphia won 2-1. Was that maybe the start of what was a great season? Did you gain from that game more than perhaps any other?
Well, I knew I was capable of playing in the league, but it was just a matter of getting a chance, and the management and coaches were very fair with me and gave me a good shot, and that's all I could ask for, and the guys played great in front of me right from the first game of the season.
Now, how will you deal with this? What's your general mood following a game? Do you take it home and think about this for the remainder of the summer?
It's really going to be hard. If we would have won, it would have been great. It's going to be hard. We did give it our best. We have nothing to be ashamed of, but we are going to keep our heads high.
And you can double that in terms of your own performance. Congratulations on the Conn Smythe Trophy and a fine season.
Thank you.
96 appearances for Ron Hextall, winner of the 1987 Conn Smythe. The Edmonton Oilers are the 1987 Stanley Cup champs. The celebration in their dressing room continues, and so does Hockey Night in Canada in a moment. The celebration is ongoing throughout the streets of Edmonton, around Northland's Coliseum, but most important, it's ongoing in the Edmonton dressing room. Let's go back there now with Chris Cuthbert.
And Ron, the Oilers are saying it's never been sweeter, and Kent Nielsen would certainly agree with that because it's his first. And congratulations.
First and last, maybe. It was nice. It's nice. After 10 years of hockey, and this happened to you, you can't feel any better.
Well, you certainly have begged the question. A lot of talk about you going to Sweden next year.
No, I don't know yet. I'm going to make the decision next couple of weeks.
Let's enjoy this night. And as the Oilers walked into the room, there was great jubilation, but Kent Nielsen had some tears in his eyes.
I felt emotional. That's the best feeling in my hockey career, and I couldn't hold it back.
You've heard some criticism about your playoff play, but you went out tonight and set up the first goal, and really the Oilers never looked back.
They treated me a lot and over the years, and if you take the good parts, you got to take the bad, so that's no big problem with me.
Kent, most of this team has agreed that their fortunes really turned around since you came, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Kent Nielsen and Kevin Lowe is standing by, and we'll call him in right now. Kevin, of course, enjoying his third Stanley Cup. I wonder how this one rates with the other two.
Well, prior to the series, Chris, we always talk about the first one being the most exciting, but as the series wore on and the fact that the Flyers were never giving up, this one sort of grew as a top on the list. And prior to the series, or prior to the game tonight, we said, listen, this one's going to be the sweetest, and it certainly is.
I was going to say, the motivation going into the playoffs was to make up for last year in Calgary, but the Flyers kind of made it a different way of looking at the series.
Well, they, what more can you say about the hockey club? I mean, they're a true grit bunch, and they hung in there, and like even tonight, Hextall did the job. We kept pounding, getting opportunities, but what we said prior to the game was to be patient, not to get over anxious, not let the momentum of the crowd disrupt our game like it did in Game 5 here. And we got to pat ourselves on the back. It was tough not to get overly excited and to get a little bit frustrated out there, but we knew that if we kept getting opportunities that we'd score a few goals.
You guys showed some grit tonight, no question about that. Kevin Lowe, congratulations, and here comes the beer. We'd like to call over Craig Muni if we could. Craig, come on over, because last year he was a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he said what a difference a year makes. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be here and be part of this.
You're one of the guys on the team that decided maybe shaving would help turn the fortunes around. Tell us about that. Was that a team decision?
Well, we sort of talked about it on the way home from Philly after the 6th game. And after the meeting, we sort of decided we better have a new look and a new outlook, and everybody just shaved it right off.
That was cosmetic, but you had a new look on the ice tonight. How did the team maintain that confidence level and come back and play so well tonight?
Oh, we knew we played well even in the losses. They just had a lot of determination. They played well to come back on the 3 games they won. And we just wanted to make sure that we could win this last game.
Some aches and pains, I'm sure, after this one's over.
Not right now. Too happy to be sore right now.
Craig Muni, congratulations. One of the winning Edmonton Oilers for the first time. Now let's go back to Ron Maclean.
Oh, this was the 106th game for the Philadelphia Flyers this season, 101 for the Edmonton Oilers, and don't forget about Rendezvous 87, which was also an emotional drain toward the end. But a classic series. It goes to a 7th game, and Jari Kurri with his 15th goal of the playoffs to lead all NHL goal scorers in the postseason with the game winner. The final score 3-1. The Oilers lead the series 4-3, and that's enough because it's over. They are the 1987 Stanley Cup champions. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment. Stanley Cup champs, there's the final score, and there's the scene as the interviews continue in the Edmonton Oilers dressing room. And the only thing that can be said is the Oilers are accustomed to that and obviously are experts at it, as well as winning and coming from behind. And finally, they had a trailing situation going down 1-0. Philadelphia, I assume, just ran out of gas. Would you concur?
Well, yeah, Harry Neal mentioned it, that they got to go through wars to get here. And I'm not saying Edmonton had an easy time getting here, but they had an easy time getting here. Montreal and that war they had down there. And you think about what would happen if they had Timmy Kerr, 58-goal scorer. But I think Glenn Sather said it the best right at the very, very start. He says it's a shame that both teams can't win the Stanley Cup. And, I always after a thing, they said, isn't it too bad that one team won the other? And I had baloney the other one. But if this is the one time ever that both teams should have won, it should have been this time. It's Mike Keenan must be just dying over there. And they're a great team and a tough team, but Edmonton was a better team.
Well, both teams played great, and so did both goaltenders. We've heard from Ron Hextall. Now Grant Fuhr is with Chris Cuthbert.
All right, thanks very much, Ron. Grant, congratulations. The goaltenders in this series had ice in their veins. An outstanding job at both ends of the ice.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was a good series overall. I mean, 7 games, what can you say? It's a great series. Both teams played well. Best team won.
And I would think more pressure on the goaltenders than in the last Stanley Cups that you've been involved in.
It's a little tighter hockey. I mean, it was good hockey. I think the guys played well enough that we deserved to win. It just happened that we got the breaks and won.
I found it interesting tonight that you guys went back to the game plan really that won you the first 3 games and also really got you here in the playoffs this year. Great defense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't get a better defensive game than that. The guys played unbelievable. You get 2 shots in the 3rd period, it's something for the guys they're playing with.
It'll be a different summer this year.
It was a great summer. I mean, we worked hard to get here. Now we're here.
Only trouble is it's going to be a short summer. August comes quickly if you're thinking about the Canada Cup.
Doesn't matter. Once you get the cup, it makes a good summer.
Golfing tomorrow?
I don't know if we're going to golf tomorrow. It just depends when we get home.
Congratulations to Grant Fuhr, and we are standing by here for Wayne Gretzky as the celebrations continue in this mob scene of a dressing room. Right now, we'll go back to Ron Maclean.
All right, Chris, and I understand Mike Keenan is just in our immediate area, so we're going to try and get to Mike in just a moment as well, but we don't have an extra microphone, so Don, maybe you could give us a thought, and we'll see if we can get Chris organized in the other dressing room, or even a dressing room shot mightn't be a bad idea in order to give us that opportunity.
We got to get Mike in here. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got to get him in here. All you people that have criticized hockey all this time, and then you see a series like that, as I travel around, and you say, oh, hockey's not what it used to be, take a look at this series, and I'll tell you, hockey's great, and as it ever will be.
There's the scene in the Edmonton Oilers dressing room, and it's one I'm sure you wish was in yours. Your thoughts, Mike, off the top?
Well, we couldn't be proud of our hockey club. They did a fantastic job. We drew everything we could out of them. They gave us everything they had, and we were defeated by a better hockey club tonight. The Edmonton Oilers played a better game tonight. They're a little stronger than we were, and our hats go off to them for winning the Stanley Cup in Game 7. On the other hand, I've never worked with a group of individuals who gave so much through such a decimated period of time in terms of their health, and we just can't ask for any more than what we got from them.
Was there ever a point in the third period tonight that you thought maybe things would go your way, and was there anything that you thought maybe you physically could have done to change the outcome, or was it the end?
Not really. In the third period, I thought they took the play to us pretty well, and we really didn't have any offensive thrust at all.